you still got to treat this like this tornado is on the ground, because now we're getting that yellow cylinder popping up right here. On this radar computer of ours, whenever we have that yellow cylinder pop up, that is our radar computer indicating to us that there's some pretty good rotation within that storm right there. And that's what we're seeing too, and that is matching up with where that debris signature was that I was talking about earlier, when we were seeing those brighter shades of blue and green popping up there on the radar picture. I'll put it back over there right now and see if that is still there. Well, now too, it also looks like the debris signature is not as prominent as it was on that last radar scan either. So at least that is some good news. The rotation, though, is still there. So I think this storm is still capable of producing a tornado if there's not already one on the ground. This tornado warning is popping up in purple, this purple polygon right here, and that does indicate to us that this is a confirmed tornado. So somebody has actually, it looked like, seen this, or let's see, I'm going to see if there's any. So let's see, I'm looking for any updates on this. It looks like we have in Stewart County, this is coming from the emergency manager there, some power lines down on Red Top Road. This is north of Indian Mound, right here in Tennessee in Stewart County. Still seeing the radar popping up though with that cylinder, and that is indicating to us that we do have some better rotation right there with that storm. I'm going to put it back on Hopkinsville and just see what we have. So when I switch it back over to the Hopkinsville radar site, we are still seeing a little bit of that debris signature popping up right here on the radar site. And this has now just crossed over the Stewart County and Stewart County and Montgomery County line. This is headed east, more into Montgomery County now. It's about to pass out of Stewart County, but this is right around the Oakwood area. Here's Indian Mound Road. That's that road that I was just talking about. Now we're starting to see that right over here. This is right around Oakwood now. So if you're in Oakwood, you really need to be in your safe place right now. Again, the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. This area of rotation and the possible debris signature right here too, that is right around your area. This right here, this is Indian Mound Road. That's the road that I was just telling you about, where the emergency manager was talking about some power lines down around that area. So even if it's not a tornado, we're still seeing very strong winds with that. Also a decent bit of lightning too. Not as much as those first storms that were moving up into Henry County, but heavy rain as well. So we're going to have to deal with kind of all three of those as it stands for right now. I want to back out of this real quick and just see if we have any more information. It looks like a new update just came out. So this tornado warning is going to remain in effect until 1:45. This was a confirmed tornado. So the National Weather Service is calling this one a confirmed tornado located 9 miles to the southeast of Big Rock, or this is also 12 miles down to the southwest of Fort Campbell up there in southwest Kentucky. This storm is moving east at 25 miles per hour. Again, this is a damaging tornado, a confirmed tornado. So we're going to look at this. I'm going to put a little track on this and take it out 25 miles per hour, and I'm going to get some of these town names to pop up. Honestly, though, when I'm looking at this picture right here, I'm not seeing quite as good of a radar scan as far as the winds, the tighter winds, the rotation, as I was just a little bit ago. I'm going to switch things over just real quick and see if this provides any different picture for us. Okay, so we're still seeing that tornado warning. It's still holding together. That's going to go until 1:45, so we still have 10 more minutes left on this. If you're anywhere within this purple polygon, I've been calling out Oakwood. Oakwood, you need to be in your safe place right now. Woodlawn, you need to be in your safe place too. I'm going to get you a general idea on the timing on this. This tornado warning polygon is pretty small though. I'm going to take it out 25 miles an hour still. This is going to go outside of that warned area. So hopefully this tornado is not going to actually hold together once it gets outside of this tornado warned area. And if it does, it's not going to run into too many towns. This obviously area isn't quite as populated as other parts of Middle Tennessee are. If it holds together though, it could be moving in a little closer to Clarksville. I'm hoping that it'll weaken though before it gets that far to the east. Right now the main threat is over there in the western side of Montgomery County. It looks like most of this is about to clear out of Stewart County as well. So again, around there, around Indian Mound is where those power lines were down. That storm already moved through. So I'm sure we're also going to be talking about power outages too with some of these storms that might try to move through. Hopefully we can keep those very limited as well. But that is still the area of concern right here over in parts of west, central, and northwest Montgomery County. That area of rotation, that's where we're seeing the best area of that. Also, that is why that tornado warning was issued. And then that's popping up as a purple polygon, so a possible confirmed tornado. So that's what we have going on up there right now. I want to take you through the rest of the day, though, because that one that we had in Henry County earlier, that was the first one. This is now the second one, but I think we could see more of these as the day goes on. So if you have any plans today, just be prepared to find you a safe place in case any more of these tornado warnings do get issued. I'm going to put it back over here and just show you what we're looking like, a general outlook for today. The Storm Prediction Center earlier this morning included all of Middle Tennessee and nearly all of southern Kentucky in that level 2 risk for some of these severe thunderstorms. So there definitely will be a chance so we get a few more of these strong and severe thunderstorms as we head through the rest of the day. I think the timing is from about right now for our more western areas, pushing into central portions of Middle Tennessee a little bit later in the afternoon before exiting off of the plateau by the time we hit about 10, 11 o'clock tonight or so. Here's a little real quick map of the timing. I'll show you this and I'll show you Futurecast, and then we're going to go back to that tornado warning and see if we have any more updated information on that, if my map wants to load for me right here. So here we go. This is the timing on this afternoon until about 6 p.m. The western third of us, Nashville, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. This is when that line of strong to severe thunderstorms could be moving into our area. Same goes for Franklin, also down to the Murfreesboro area as well. And as it continues to push off further to the east, I think it is going to stay fairly strong too. Everybody in those shades of pink. I think we're talking about 5 p.m. to about 10, 11 p.m. before it finally exits the plateau. And yesterday we were thinking those storms might weaken quite a bit by the time they hit the plateau. I think now they could be holding together and still stay kind of strong for the far eastern portion of the viewing area. So that's the timing. I'll time this out for you on Future Track 2 real quick. And we're still looking at, again, that afternoon time frame. I want to get this specifically on some of these bigger cities too. So we're going to zoom in and drag this out. My screen is jam-packed right now, so it's a little difficult for me to even see what's going on over here. So I'm going to pull this back. That's 9 p.m. We're going to get this back to, so this is 6 p.m. That's 5 p.m. right there. Some of these storms moving into parts of Davidson County. These pockets of heavy rainfall where you're seeing those little circles of the reds and yellows popping up on Future Track. That's 5 o'clock, lined up right there along Interstate 65. That'll keep on sliding to the east as we head through the rest of the afternoon on into the evening hours. And then that cold front's finally going to take all that away with it. And then behind that, we're going to be much drier, but also much cooler as we head on into Sunday. So outdoor plans on Sunday, you're good to go. Just got to bundle up for it because it is going to get a little bit colder, actually quite a bit colder for us behind that cold front, bringing in that colder air. Here's that tornado warning. This tornado warning is still in effect. This is still for parts of Montgomery County mainly now. I think the threat is about pushed out of Stewart County. So we're still talking about the Oakwood area. Still stay in your safe place right there. This is moving up to the northeast, though, at about 25 miles per hour. That purple polygon still indicating that is a confirmed tornado. That tornado warning, it's got another 6 minutes left on that warning. I'm going to check the National Weather Service chat. See if there's any, okay, good news right here. This update just came in about 5-10 seconds ago. Tornadic circulation has weakened dramatically and no longer seeing the debris signature. So that is some good news. We were talking earlier and I was showing you those reds and greens and it was not looking near as tight. So it looks like the rotation signature has weakened up quite a bit. Now we're also talking about the debris signature. We've lost that earlier. We were seeing that little spot on the radar, that shade of green and blue, that little circle with the pixels right here just south of Oakwood. But now we have lost that. This looks to be all meteorological targets right now, so that's going to be all raindrops and things like that. Does not like we have anything being lofted up in the air. That radar beam is not encountering any of the fence posts or shingles or anything like that, so that's very good news. They might go ahead and cancel this very soon, or since it's only got 5 minutes left on it, they might just go ahead and let this play out just to make sure this tornado doesn't cycle or anything and try to drop back down on the ground. But right now we only have about 4 or 5 minutes left on this tornado warning, so we'll just go ahead and play it through here. That's the last update that we had on that. Not getting any reports of any sort of damage or anything other than those in Stewart County where we had a few of those power lines down. No other new radar or no other new damage reports have come in, so that's great news. Hopefully it can stay like that for this particular tornado warning, and hopefully if any more get issued as we head through the rest of the day, we're going to be in the clear on those as well. Hopefully we can just keep this to a couple of tornado warnings and not have to deal with several more of these as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. I want to check a wider view of radar too, though, because this is just one little spot. We got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings going on as well. show you some of these. So anywhere where you see these yellow polygons, here's actually another tornado warning. I'll talk about that in just a second. But we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings right here. This is going to be for around the Christian County, Todd County, Logan County, some of these areas as these storms continue to push a little bit further to the east. Severe thunderstorm warning still in effect, so we could still be seeing quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts in these flashing yellow polygons. These are all the severe thunderstorm warnings. Here's that other tornado warning, though, that I was just talking about. This is down here. This is over in West Tennessee. This is outside of our viewing area, but Henry and Benton County, these two counties right here, that is part of our viewing area. So we're going to have to cut back in if you live in Camden or anywhere like that, because if this tornado warning holds together and it pushes over into parts of Benton County, hopefully that's going to die out, though, before it moves closer to the Tennessee River, before it enters Benton County. Hopefully that can stay over there in parts of West Tennessee, and we won't have to deal with that. As far as the rain goes, I'll put this rain back on, get us a little bit of a cleaner picture. That storm's looking pretty strong, the one that's just outside of the viewing area, so I'll be keeping my eye out on that one. It's still just these severe thunderstorm warnings up here in parts of southwest Kentucky, also up in the northwestern corner of Middle Tennessee. We do still have that confirmed tornado warning. It was confirmed. The signature on radar right now is not looking near as good as it was earlier, so that is some really good news, as long as this thing doesn't try to put itself back down again. So hopefully we'll be done with this tornado warning in about 3 minutes. The time, the clock is just about to hit 1:43, so only a couple more minutes left on this tornado warning. So we're going to, right when I say that, it looks like there's another storm that we're watching now, and it looks like another tornado warning is going to be coming out shortly. This one's going to be for that Clarksville area. This thing might be trying to either put another one down or a new storm forming right there along with it. So we'll see. This tornado warning, they're probably going to let that one go at 1:45, but it sounds like another tornado warning is just about to come out for possibly the Clarksville area. We'll see exactly where this thing gets issued, but these storms are moving off to the northeast still about 25 miles per hour. It's this little small line right there pushing in from parts of southwest Kentucky on into the northwestern portions of Tennessee. That'll keep on moving to the east, and as it does, that will bring some strong, possibly damaging winds to some of these areas, more into the central and even the eastern portions of Montgomery County, also up there into areas like Todd County, Logan County, some of those areas up in southern Kentucky as well. All this continues to slide east as we head through the rest of the day. That's the current severe thunderstorm situation that we have going on. Again, the National Weather Service in Nashville, I was just seeing them talking. It sounds like they are drawing up another tornado warning, and there it goes. It just popped up on our radar computer. So we'll see the timing on this, and I'll get you the details on this. This is going to stick around with us for another 30 minutes, this tornado warning. They basically just extended from where that previous purple polygon was to now moving to the northeast. Now they put that as a red polygon. So this is going to be more radar indicated rotation, or even some of those rotating storms that we're able to see on some of the sky cameras up in that area as well. This is going to go until 2:15, so another 30 minutes or so left on this tornado warning, and I'll read out what the so it does look like there is a funnel up in that area, so that's what they're issuing this for. It looks like some definite radar indicated rotation. Radar indicated rotation, a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado, was located near Clarksville, moving east now at 35 miles an hour. So it doesn't look like this is on the ground just yet, hopefully, but there is that storm that's rotating, that's trying to drop a funnel down and trying to get that down to the ground. So that's what the National Weather Service, having to play it safe on that and go ahead and issue that tornado warning. So if you're anywhere up here in the far northern portion of Montgomery County, you need to be in your safe place. We'll zoom in right here, get you some of these town names, call them out to you. This is going to be, okay, and our radar computer is putting up that yellow cylinder too as well once we zoom in. So areas like Storybrook Acres, Bell Forest, Barkwood, if you're living in any of these areas, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place. I'll try to get this a little bit cleaner on the map for you so you can actually see what's going on. Still a lot of lightning with these storms too, so I'm going to take off that lightning, but just know it is there. This is quite active. A lot of lightning with these storms that are going to be moving through today. But here's that best area of rotation. This is right on the Kentucky and Tennessee state line. This is going to keep on sliding to the northeast, and it now looks like they've gone ahead and made that purple polygon. So this this looks like it could be a confirmed tornado now. This is going to be issued or be warned from the National Weather Service office up there in Kentucky. This is going to be coming out of a different National Weather Service office. So I'm going to bring up and see just exactly what they were talking about to put this tornado warning up there for us. So got a lot of things going on just looking at this right here. So it still looks like, so that tornado warning, as it heads into parts of southwest Kentucky, now that tornado warning is going to continue. This was previously just for parts of north central Montgomery County, but now we're starting to see that push up on that northeasterly track, as expected, into parts of southwest Kentucky as well. I'm going to get up some of these county names and zoom out just a little bit. This is a very cluttered image. There's a lot of warnings, watches, rotation going on right now on the radar map, but it's still this area right up here, north central Montgomery County, northeastern portions of Montgomery County. Clarksville, it looks like the worst of that is going to stay to the north of you. This is where the best area of rotation is setting up right there along the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. We are I'm going to actually change one thing real quick. Okay, so this is a pretty good picture of this right here. So this is a pretty good radar signature too. You're actually seeing a pretty good radar signature, and this whole warning has now gone to purple. I'm on the Hopkinsville radar site. This is going to be the closest radar that we have to the storm, so it's going to give us a pretty good picture on what's going on, and you can kind of see it looks like maybe even a little bit of a hook echo trying to develop right here. These winds are the winds that are going to be feeding into that storm. I'm going to bring up the velocity mode and see if we can see exactly where that area of rotation is, but just looking at this image right here, it looks like it's going to be just south of Storybook Acres, and again, that's heading up to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. I'm going to put on this velocity product. We have a lot of different products now that we can look at on radar, and exactly where that little hook echo was, where I was showing you those winds going in, that is where we're seeing some of this tightest rotation too, and that is just south of that Storybook Acres. I'm going to zoom in on my computer and show you right here. So this is Brentwood, but this is not Brentwood in more so of Middle Tennessee. No, no Davidson County or anything like that. No, this is way up in the far northwestern portion of the viewing area. This is up there in Montgomery County, just south of Storybook Acres. But it's right here where you see those reds and greens butting up against each other. That's where we're seeing the better area of rotation. And this is a confirmed tornado. That box is a flashing polygon. So at one point, this was putting a tornado down on the ground. That's going to keep on sliding off to the northeast. But if you're anywhere within this area, you definitely need to be in your safe place, because we're getting two good signatures on two different products on the radar that this storm is rotating, and it could be rotating pretty good too. This is some fairly tight rotation. These we're on the Hopkinsville radar site, so that's going to be up just a little bit to the north of here. These greens are going to be the winds going to it, and the reds are going to be the winds that are going away from that radar site. So it's that area where you're getting that better rotation. I'm going to change products one more over here. And there's a debris signature too now that we're talking about on radar. It stands out pretty clearly when you're looking at the radar right here. All these purples and everything, these are all just raindrops, regular old meteorological targets. Not going to have to worry about any of that, but when we get these blues and these greens and these teal colors, that's what really stands out to us, because that is the radar when that beam goes out. Like I've been talking about earlier today now, another confirmed tornado was picking up some of that debris, and that beam is hitting the debris before it goes back to the radar, and it just looks like it's got a little bit weaker now. So that's good, at least. I mean, you can still see the debris signature there, but it's not quite as lofty as it was. But right there around that debris signature now, we were looking at that just a little bit to the west back here around Storybook Acres. That new radar update takes it out a little bit further to the east, and it's also putting that cylinder around it too, still indicating that we have some pretty good rotation, and that is putting that rotation right around where that radar is trying to pick up that debris signature too. So we are definitely going to have to stick on this tornado warning. This is a confirmed tornado warning. So if you are in the path of this thing, you really need to be in your safe place right now. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, change it over back to the reflectivity, and see what this is looking like now, because earlier that was a pretty good signature on the radar on this reflectivity mode, and it's still looking pretty good too. These are the winds right here that are kind of feeding into that storm. This is the area of rotation right there, and that's exactly where we're still seeing that debris tracker symbol popping up too. I'll switch it over right now, and we need those two areas to match up. And you'll see it right there. It does. Right where that little hook was in that storm. That's exactly where we're seeing those greens and yellows popping up. So I think it's safe to say that we definitely have something going on right there. That tornado could potentially be lofting some of that debris up in the air, and that's what the radar is hitting, telling us that, yeah, there could be some debris with that. I'm going to switch back over here to the National Weather Service chat, see if there is any, Let's see, any new updates on this tornado? So still seeing the debris ball. That's what we've been talking about, and pushing in closer to Interstate 24, crossing over there very shortly. It's not quite at Interstate 24, but it is just about to be. This is Interstate 24, that yellow line that's running diagonal right there up towards the northwest. Here's that area of rotation. Here's the debris ball right there. So if you are in the north central or the far northeastern portions of Montgomery County, you really need to be in your safe place right now. If you're in Clarksville, this area of rotation, possible tornado, is still to the north of you, but this is still in effect for north central and northeastern portions of Montgomery County, and it appears that this is an actual confirmed tornado that is on the ground. If you're up there in parts of southwest Kentucky, this is going to be in parts of Christian County. If you're around Barker's Mill, we'll zoom in, get a couple more of these town names popping up. Hammocksville, and now back over here into parts of Tennessee. Hampton Station, this is going to be in Montgomery County. Barkwood, if you live in any of those town names that I just called out, you really need to be in your safe place right now, because as it stands, this radar image still putting up some good rotation, a pretty good radar signature on that. This will probably update. It looks like that debris signature has now shifted a little bit to the northeast. Remember, this storm is moving at about 35 miles an hour to the northeast. This could still be that debris signature that we're looking at. I'm going to change radar products over real quick, put it back on the winds, and let's see if we can see is, oh wow, okay. So that's the debris signature had just moved out of that spinning cylinder. This will probably update shortly and put it right about there. You're really starting to see that those winds get tighter and tighter. Those greens are coming in a brighter shade of green, and the reds are coming in a brighter shade of red. That's indicating to us that we have some tighter rotation going on, and that is exactly where that area of circulation is going to be. We're up here on the Hopkinsville radar site. These green pixels, the winds going towards that radar site. The red ones are the winds going away from it. So right there, that's going to be the center of circulation. That stands out pretty clearly right here on the radar. I'll get you some of these road names. Man of War Boulevard, Tiny Town Road, Trenton Road, any of these areas, you need to definitely be in your safe place right now. This is very close to Interstate 24. Interstate 24 is going to be this line right here. So if you know anybody traveling potentially along Interstate 24 up here in the northwestern part, north central portions of Montgomery County, go ahead and give them a call, because just got to play this safe. One thing you do not want to do if you come into any overpasses, do not get underneath any of the overpasses. All that's going to do is let those winds bottleneck, and those winds are going to increase in speed. And underneath an overpass is not a safe place at all for you to be if you're on the road driving with any of these tornadoes that are headed your direction. But this radar signature is still looking pretty good. This is still popping up. Pretty tight rotation right there. Again, this is north central portions of Montgomery County. I'll zoom out a little bit, kind of get your bearings straight on exactly where we're at. Here's Clarksville right here, north central portions, northeastern portions of Montgomery County still included within that tornado warning. This is going to be to the north of Clarksville. If you're in Clarksville, this is still going to be a little bit of a ways from you. You are not included in that tornado warning. So at least good news if you're there in Clarksville. Areas and parts of southern Todd County up there in Kentucky, though, you really need to be in your safe place right now. If this holds together, it's going to cross over the state line and head up into your neck of the woods. This is going to be for areas like Hammocksville, Anderson, Guthrie, Herman, Trenton, any of those town names I just called out. You need to go ahead and be in your safe place. We're still getting that good radar signature onto that right now for that rotating winds. I'll switch it back over to the correlation coefficient. Again, this is our debris tracker. And you can still see where there might still be some debris. This debris signature isn't quite as good as it was earlier, but that really, I mean, you can still see the rotation very strong on the current velocity images. So, but there could still be a little bit of debris, just maybe not quite as much, getting lofted up in the air. And that's going to be this little green area right there. This is going to be to the northwest of Barkwood. That could be that debris signature that is still trying to stick around with us on this radar scan. And now it looks like it might have shifted up there just south of the Kentucky line, up there just south of the Todd County line. I'll bring it back over here, and this is definitely the biggest area of concern for us right now. I'll zoom out just to make sure I haven't missed any other warnings, but you can still see it. Whenever we start to see these pop up on radar with the reds and greens getting that bright, that close to each other, that is indicating to us that we do have some pretty good rotation. This is going to be near Isaac Drive, just passed by Clarksville Road, but Isaac Drive, if you're around that area, Tylertown Road, Oakland Road, any of those spots, you really need to be in your safe place. This is up there in the north central, headed into the northeastern portions of Montgomery County. This tornado warning set to run until 2:15 p.m. Current time 1:56 p.m. So we still got another 20 minutes or so left on this tornado warning, and it looks like they've gone ahead and just extended that up into more portions of southern Kentucky. This is now going to cover in portions of Logan, Kentucky. I'll see, make sure that's not something else that's going on. So it looks like that's just going to be a continuation potentially of that storm that is heading up from out of Montgomery County right now. So I guess the National Weather Service up there in southern Kentucky office thinking that might hold together for a little bit longer as it pushes into their area. I want to see what they're talking about over here in the National Weather Service chat. Let's see. So that tornado, it was radar confirmed. Also, it looks like there's been public reports of a tornado that was on the ground. So it does look like this was and could still be definitely a tornado that is on the ground right now. I'll see if any more updates are coming out of the National Weather Service here in, let's see, here in Nashville. Got a lot of things still happening on my computer right here, trying to bring up some of these. That tornado, just though, last update on this, 155, tornado continuing across northern portions of Montgomery County. This is going to be 4 miles northwest of Clarksville where this thing was moving, and it's going to keep on sliding off to the east as we head through the next several minutes too. But no new update, no new reports. No damage reports that I'm seeing any just yet, but we were seeing a little bit of that tornado debris signature, so we'll see if if any damage reports get mentioned in the National Weather Service chat. It's still this area right here, that purple polygon, indicating a confirmed tornado still on the ground. So that is what we're having to deal with. We do have more of those, a line of severe thunderstorm warnings that are pushing into parts of northwestern Tennessee. This is several severe thunderstorm warnings just outside of our viewing area. If you're in Camden, it's moving into parts of Benton County. This storm was tornado warned earlier. Right now, it's just severe thunderstorm warned, but that storm could still be producing winds of 60 miles per hour, quarter size or greater, larger hail. And I just got an email. I don't have time to click on it right now, but Justin McFarland, our morning anchor, possible tornado on the ground. He recorded video from Clarksville traffic camera, so we'll try to get that and show that to you at some point. But it does look like there is good rotation on that, and it does look like that tornado, from what we've been seeing on radar at least, a very, very, very good chance that tornado could be on the ground. And also, again, we had that public report of a tornado on the ground. This is going to be just to the north of Clarksville and in north central and northeastern portions of Montgomery County. And I'll show you this too. It looks like the area of rotation is just crossing. Yep, this is kind of a textbook looking signature that when we're looking at, it's this hook echo right here in this little curve of green, or those winds that are feeding into that right there. And it's this area right here where we're seeing the rotation. And this is right there along the Logan County and Montgomery County line. So Logan County up here in parts of southwest Kentucky. This storm going to continue to push off to the northeast. It was moving about 35 miles an hour earlier. I want to put a track on that and get you some of these town names that are going to pop up when I draw this track out, but that is a very good signature popping on radar. Before I do that real quick, I'll show you the velocity mode, and like I've been talking, where you see those reds and greens butting up really closely against each other. That's a pretty good radar signature right there for some fairly tight, fairly strong rotation. Again, right there, that little pixel, the reds and green pixels that we're looking at, this little hole right here, that's the Hopkinsville radar site. So it's just south of the radar site. And I'll bring up some town, whoops, let me clear that off. I'll bring up some of these town names. Chester Stall Road, if you live there, Graysville Road, Dixie Beeline Highway, any of these names, you really need to be in your safe place right now because this still appears to be a confirmed tornado on the ground. If you're just now joining us and you're new to this part of the country where we get tornadoes year-round around here, you need to get to that lowest floor of whatever building you're in. If you have a basement, if you have a storm shelter, that's where you're going to need to be if you have that. But if you don't, the lowest floor of whatever building you're in, put as many walls between you and the outside of the home as possible. possible. I know we've been talking about some of this same stuff now, but more people, just keep joining in. So I got to bring out any of the new information that we can have. The radar scan just updated. This is 2 o'clock now. 2 o'clock radar image 201. Clock just turned over. So right here, where you're seeing those reds and greens, it looks like we're still getting a good rotation signature with each new radar scan that comes out to us. This is now up in the portions of Logan County, Kentucky. This is headed towards Guthrie Road, Pincham, Anderson. Any of these town names right here in parts of southern Kentucky. This is in Logan County, Kentucky. Again, moving to the northeast at 35 miles an hour. So I'm going to put a track out on this and show you when it could be arriving into your area. Not a whole lot of town names that I'm getting to pop up right now, but we'll pull this out to about 35 miles an hour, see when we get some more of these town names to pop up. Let's see, Haydensville could be around your area in about 10 minutes or so. Allensville, 18 minutes or so for you. You are just on that far outer edge of the current tornado warning. I'll move myself over a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. You're on the far outer edge of that tornado warning. If it holds together and pushes a little bit further to the east, it'll be moving around the dot area in about 28 minutes from now, but hopefully it'll have lifted by the time it gets that far. This current tornado warning that we have out, this is still set to run until 2:30, so we still have another 28 minutes on this tornado, and we're still getting that good radar signature. This is one where you definitely want to be in your safe place right now if you are up here into the southern portions of Todd County. This is going to be in the southwestern part of our viewing area over there, or in southwestern portions of Kentucky, in the northwestern part of our viewing area here in Middle Tennessee. This map getting kind of cluttered again. I'm going to put it over to the reflectivity mode. And earlier we had that very good signature. Now we're getting kind of close to the radar, so things might start looking a little bit more cluttered right here. We're not seeing it quite as good, but this is still pushing to the northeast. It's still this area, that general area in Todd County, Kentucky, that we're talking about the better chance for that rotation. It looks like the worst of this, though, has now moved out of Montgomery County. You are still dealing with some heavy rain. Let's see, still a little bit of lightning too. Most of the lightning now, though, up there in parts of southwest Kentucky, up into Todd County. We've had about 15 strikes with that storm over the past several minutes or so. So there is definitely lightning associated with that storm as well, obviously. I'll switch it back over, zoom out a little bit, see, okay, so we've had a couple of these severe thunderstorm warnings that are over here in our western area. Some of those have expired. No tornado warnings over there just yet. It's still this area that we're dealing with. And right when we were talking about that threat pushing out of Montgomery County, looks like the National Weather Service here in Nashville has gone ahead and clipped out Montgomery County out of that. So still seeing some heavy rain here in Montgomery County. Clarksville, if you're there, you might be hearing just a little bit of thunder, but some heavy rain moving into your area. But the tornado threat is now pushed off into our southwestern counties over there in Kentucky. We're still talking about, clear these town names. Let me also take off this lightning, just get as few things as possible up here on the screen. We're still talking about this tornado warning going, a confirmed tornado, tornado warning lasting until 2:30 this afternoon. This is going to be for Todd County, Kentucky. Heavy rain with this too. If you're around the Trenton area, you need to be in your safe place. Let's see, any of these other town names that I call out, Anderson, Herman, you need to be in your safe place over in any of these areas as well, because there is still that threat of a possible tornado that is on the ground right now. I'm going to change my settings so I can see this, try to see this a little bit more clearly. Also go over and check over to the National Weather Service chat and just see what's going on. The good news, though, at least if you're in Montgomery County, that tornado threat with this particular storm has gone to the north of you now. We're not seeing this threat in Montgomery County anymore. It's still seeing some heavy rain, but the tornado threat is now up there in the southwestern portions of Kentucky. I'm going to switch over to the National Weather Service office out of Paducah, see if they're seeing anything. I'm seeing some pictures in here. In the National Weather Service chat. This is from a ham radio operator, and you can see a pretty good funnel on some of these pictures that I'm looking at. So and they were still talking about that debris a little bit earlier that was being lofted. So that tornado, it was strong, and it still could be strong, still on the ground, lofting debris up in the air as it was moving in closer to Interstate 24. That tornado warning is still in effect, though. It's still remaining until 2:30. That is that confirmed tornado that we're talking about. This is for Todd County, Kentucky. Again, some of these town names, Anderson, Herman, any of those areas, anywhere in between, you need to be in your safe place right now, the lowest floor of whatever building you're in, and put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible. We're really close to that radar, and it's not bringing us up the best signature on the radar. This is the radar site that we're on right now. It's the Hopkinsville, Kentucky radar site. So this storm is pushing very, very close to that, just to the southeast of the radar site. So all those pixels are kind of looking a little bit cluttered right there. I'm going to switch over to a couple of different products and just see exactly what we have going on. We'll put it on the wind. The wind, though, is still coming up very clear. Heavy rainfall, but once we switch over to this velocity product, you can see exactly where that area of rotation is. This is now crossing right over, and here's the new radar scan that just came out. Just crossed over. Let's see, I'm going to zoom in, get some of these names popping up. Dixie Beeline Highway, Guthrie Road, just crossed over Guthrie Road. If you're on Old Railroad Lane up here in Todd County, you need to be in your safe place. This is that area of rotation right here. This is going to push right around Anderson. So if you're in Anderson, you really need to be in your safe place right now. Here's that area of rotation that we are watching for this confirmed tornado on that tornado warning that is set to go until 2:30 this afternoon. Right where you see those reds and those greens popping up there on the radar, that is a good rotation signature popping up. Those brighter shades of green right there butted up against those brighter shades of red. We're up here on the Hopkinsville Radar Kentucky site. These winds, the green pixels going towards it, the red winds, or red pixels are the winds going away from it. So right there is where we're seeing that good area of rotation. I was hoping we wouldn't have to deal with much of a tornado threat today, but with each new model run that came out, it just seemed like some of the ingredients started to get more favorable and more favorable for more of these tornadoes to develop. And we've already seen a couple of confirmed tornado warning or tornadoes in our viewing area so far today. Hopefully this isn't going to be an all-day thing, but that threat, it will stick with us for a little bit longer. That tornado warning set to run until 2:30, but they have extended that out a little bit further east of there. This is going to be into effect for parts of more of Logan County, Kentucky. That's going to go until 2:45 this afternoon. So we still could have another 30 minutes or so left on that tornado warning as it continues to push off to the northeast. I will zoom out, though, show you a wider view. Everybody in that shade of yellow, this is the tornado watch. That's going to go until 7 p.m. tonight. That's going to be for all these counties that are highlighted in yellow. Most of our counties in southern Kentucky, a lot of our counties north of Interstate 40, and then some of these that are a little bit further south and west as well. Until 7 p.m., the difference between a tornado warning and a tornado watch. We were just talking about the tornado warnings. That means that there is a tornado that is on the ground or radar. We're seeing the very good rotation, even if somebody hasn't called that in, the radar is telling us, hey, this could very well put a tornado down any time now if it hasn't already. A tornado watch means the conditions are there. The ingredients are there. The conditions are favorable for a tornado to develop in anywhere of these areas, any of these counties that are highlighted in that shade of yellow. We're going to keep those ingredients until about 7 o'clock or so this evening. So we could still have this chance for strong to severe thunderstorms sticking around with us for the rest of the afternoon on through the evening hours as well before it finally exits our viewing area. Exits out of our eastern counties. This is another map. This right here is what we typically show you. This is just the categorical outlook that we're looking at from the Storm Prediction Center. Still has all of us in that level 2 risk, that shade of yellow for some of these strong to severe thunderstorms today. Switch it over to this map, and this breaks it down into different categories. I think strong damaging winds will still be the main concern with any of these storms. That area of brown, that is that tornado threat area. The Storm Prediction Center giving this area, all of Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky, that 5 to 9% chance for a tornado to develop within 25 miles of a point, anywhere you're standing, 25 miles within anywhere you're standing, anywhere in parts of Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky. We're going to go back over to radar. We should have had another radar update come in by now. Zoom in. Still no new tornado warnings. This severe thunderstorm warning has been expanded. This is now going to be in effect for parts of Benton County, Houston, Humphreys County. That's severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 2:30 this afternoon. 20 minutes left on that. 60+ mile-an-hour wind gusts associated with that storm. Also talking about the possibility, maybe some quarter-sized hail associated with that one as well. We have this severe thunderstorm warning too. This one's going to be for the Clarksville area. That's going to go until 2:15. That one's going to expire in about 5 minutes. Still some strong winds right here on the leading edge of this one. It's pushing into out of Clarksville right now, covering Clarksville with some heavy rainfall. But right now it's still up here in parts of southwest Kentucky. If you're in Christian County, Kentucky, that far southeastern portion of Christian County, Kentucky, I think you're in the clear now. You don't have anything to worry about. That threat is past you. But in Todd County until 2:30, that tornado threat is still going to remain in place. And it's right there, right where our computer is putting up that yellow and red spinning cylinder right over Anderson right now. That's where we're seeing the best rotation. The velocity product has been showing this really well. And man, this is held together from Montgomery County on into portions of Todd County as well. Right there where you're seeing those reds and greens. This is splitting right in between Anderson and Haydensville up there in Todd County, Kentucky. This is right there on Highway 79, basically riding right up there along the highway. Again, like I was talking earlier, if you know anybody on the roads that's traveling up in that area right now, do not stop under any overpasses. An underpass is one of the worst places that you can be. You do not want to be under there. Those winds are just going to bottleneck under there and actually get stronger for you. So under an overpass is not a safe place for you to be if you're out there on the road. This storm continuing to push off to the northeast, though, about 35 miles an hour or so. And that is a confirmed tornado. It's been confirmed, and the rotation signature is still really good. So I think there's a good chance that this tornado could actually remain on the ground for hopefully not much longer, but at least this tornado warning is going for another 20, 30 minutes or so. So there's a chance that it could still remain on the ground for the duration of that tornado warning. Again, I'm switching back and forth between a whole lot of different things, so just bear with me. I'm going to right here. This tornado, again, right near Allensville in about 5 minutes. The radar signature is still looking pretty good. I'm in the National Weather Service chat right now, and we base the damage or the strength of tornadoes based on what damage they cause to different structures and stuff. But one of the meteorologists from the National Weather Service and the Paducah office there, who's on this tornado warning right now, he's saying that this radar signature is still looking like a very strong EF2 or an EF3 type of radar signature. So this could be a strong tornado. It is a strong tornado that is on the ground right now. We've been seeing that good debris signature too, where it's been lofting up debris in the air, that radar beam hitting it, telling us, hey, this is hitting fence posts or hitting shingles or boards, rather than just a regular old rain that the radar will pick up on. So strong tornado still moving into parts of southwest Kentucky, a very good area of rotation. Again, this is going to be in Allensville within the next couple of minutes. So if you're in Allensville, Kentucky, this is in Todd County right there. You really need to be in your safe place right now. This tornado could be coming on a direct path right towards you. So if you're in Allensville, you need to be on the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. That's going to be one of your safest places. Not everybody has them, but if you have a storm shelter or a basement, go ahead and get to that right now. You got to get there pretty quickly, though. This tornado, it's moving in pretty quickly. Should be around the Allensville area within the next couple of minutes or so. So today, it started out pretty active. Hopefully, it calms down a little bit as we head through the rest of the day, but the ingredients are still definitely there for some more strong to severe thunderstorms and even the chance for a few more tornadoes to develop as we head through the rest of the day. And we've already seen a couple of them, and this one right now looking pretty strong. I was just telling you what the National Weather Service meteorologist out of the Paducah, Kentucky office was saying, and he's talking about this radar signature right here, these bright greens and bright reds popping up against each other, indicating an EF2, EF3 strength tornado possibly. So this could be a very strong tornado that is on the ground right now. Allensville, you're in the direct path of this within the next couple of minutes. Again, be in your safe place. If you live around Joe Gill Road, you need to be in your safe place too. Olmsted, if you're living around there, Lickskillet, you need to be in your safe place too, because once this passes the Allensville area, it's going to be moving up into your area. So Olmsted, Lickskillet, I'd say within the next 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, you need to be there in your safe place too, because these storms continuing to push up on that northeasterly track. Radar just updated. This is the 214 radar image, and you can see it. Here's Allensville right here. This is in Todd County, Kentucky. Those reds and those greens that are popping up right there against each other, still a good signature on the radar. That tornado could definitely still be down there doing some damage. So Allensville, please get to your safe place if you're not there right now. I want to put it on the correlation coefficient. This is our debris tracker. We're also seeing a good debris signature, so it still looks like this tornado is still lofting that debris up in the air. This tornado still appears to be on the ground from everything it's looking like to me on the radar. These colors right here, some of these teals and these greens and yellows, these are indicating still to us the non-meteorological targets. All of these purples and oranges, that's all just rain that's being picked up by the radar, but it's that area right there where we're likely seeing some debris that's being lofted up in the air. Still the tight rotation on radar, heavy rainfall around there, a good bit of lightning too. I'm going to switch it back over here to this reflectivity mode. And yeah, we are still seeing that holding together right there around the Allensville area. The National Weather Service up there in Kentucky continuing that tornado warning. That purple polygon over into parts of Logan County. Once it moves out of Todd County, this thing will likely hold together. And if it does, that thing is going to last until 2:45 this afternoon. So still about another 30 minutes or so left on this tornado warning if that can hold together. And it's held together for quite a while now. So hopefully this tornado weakens and we lose it pretty quickly. But as of right now, it looks like it's still holding together. I'm going to go back over here to the National Weather Service chat. They were saying what I'm saying right now. Tornado looks to be right on top of Allensville. So stay in your safe place, Allensville, right now. I'll let you know when you have the all clear. But for right now, you really need to be in your safe place if you're up there in Allensville in Todd County, Kentucky. Get into your safe place right now. I'm seeing some pictures too. Let's see. This is from Emergency Manager. Where are we? This is in Montgomery County, and there was a picture that was just put up in the National Weather Service chat. I'm looking at it right here, but dark clouds, the lowering clouds, and then also it looks like you can see, it looks like debris that's being thrown around in the air. The tornado that rolled through just north of Clarksville just a few moments ago. This picture was from Needmore Road area towards Trenton, and you can see that debris that tornado was lofting up in the air. So it's had a history of producing some damage, and it is still on the ground, it appears, as it heads through more portions of southwest Kentucky. This is still in parts of Todd County, Kentucky. It is moving over into Logan County, Kentucky right now, and I'm going to see if there's any new updates, any speed, anything that we have going on right here on this tornado. I'm just seeing, this is from the National Weather Service office here in Nashville, still talking about the tornado, that confirmed tornado that crossed in Kentucky. That was 7 miles to the northeast of Clarksville, where we have some of that damage up there in Montgomery County. Again, seeing that picture from the emergency manager, some of the debris that's getting thrown around up there in the air. We'll take it back over here to the radar view, put it back on the velocity product, show you where that rotation is. And we're still seeing that good radar signature. I'll zoom in, get some of these names and roads to pop up for you. So Lick Skillet Road, this is right there around that area. Joe Riley Road, also right there too. This is going to keep on moving to the northeast, and as it does, Olmsted, you could be in the path of this. Lick Skillet, you also could be in the path of this. This is in Logan County, Kentucky. This is that confirmed tornado that has a history of producing damage that we're talking about. That's going to keep on moving up to the northeast, about 30 miles an hour. So in about 5-10 minutes, Olmsted, Lick Skillet, it could be knocking on your door. You really need to be in your safe place right now. Go ahead and get there. You still got time, but you need to go there right now. The lowest floor of whatever building you're in, because this is still that strong tornado. Again, if you just now tuning in, one of the National Weather Service meteorologists up there in Paducah, Kentucky, some of these radar signatures that we've seen with this current tornado have been around EF2, EF3 strength possibly. These tornado strengths obviously based on what damage they do, how much damage they do to different types of structures and things like that. But some of these radar signatures indicating possible strong EF2 to EF3 tornado strength. So you got to be in your safe place if you're in any of these areas right now. Joe Riley Road, Murray Road, C. Lawrence Road, Lick Skillet Road, and then also the town of this, Olmsted, Lick Skillet. Again, you just got to be in your safe place. I'm going to switch it back over to the reflectivity mode. Still seeing the heavy rainfall with it. Let's see. So that tornado warning is still in effect for Logan County until 2:45, and it's still popping up in purple. So it's still meaning, you know, at one point as it was moving in, that tornado was on the ground. Wouldn't be surprised if it's still there. We'll switch it back over, and this thing, like we've been talking about, has been throwing debris up in the air. I've been seeing pictures coming through the National Weather Service chat on this, and we've been seeing that on this correlation coefficient product. That's what the radar calls it. This is our debris tracker, and right now, let's take a little bit of a closer look at this. So this is that area of rotation that we had right here. This is where the area of rotation was. We'll just make sure they match up. So right here, just remember that spot right there around the Allensville area, those reds and greens butted up against each other right there. And okay, it just updated. So right there, this is now very close to Lick Skillet. So this is moving in on Lick Skillet right now. If you're in Lick Skillet, you need to be in your safe place. Stay in your safe place. I'll let you know when you can get out of that. Olmsted, it might be moving just to the south of you, but still, it'll be very, very, very close if it is just south. So you need to be in your safe place too, right there up in Olmsted in Logan County, Kentucky. This tornado warning still set to go until 2:45 this afternoon. And like we've been talking, this is potentially a strong tornado that is on the ground. Possible strong EF2 to EF3 strength on this tornado. So here's where that area of rotation is right there. Whenever we look at the debris tracker, we want that, or we need that area to match up with the velocity product that we're looking right here to give us a better clue of, okay, that is likely debris that this tornado is lofting up in the air. We're going to switch it over here to the debris tracker, and in that same exact spot, just to the southwest of Lick Skillet, that's where we're still seeing those greens and yellows popping up there on the radar. Maybe not quite as much debris as when it was moving over there closer to Allensville, but we're still definitely getting the debris signature right there with those different colors versus all this surrounding purple and pink that is popping up right there on the radar. So I think it's still safe to say that tornado is on the ground, and it is still going through some things and still throwing some of that debris up in the air, that radar beam hitting that debris in the air versus the raindrops, and then coming back to the radar telling us like, hey, there's some debris that's being thrown up in the air with that tornado. I'll switch it back over here to the National Weather Service chat. Let's just see what anybody in here is talking about, any of the National Weather Service offices, see if they've got any updates over that. So this is the worst of it has now pushed out of the National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky's office. Now this is going to move outside of their viewing area. We have several different National Weather Service offices that cover all of our viewing area here at Fox 17 in Southern Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. So we're going to have to just keep our eye out on this. So Paducah, this is pretty much out of your the National Weather Service office in Paducah's coverage area. So that's going to be for this area in Todd County. I think you're in the clear anywhere over here in the Todd County area. This is still technically set to run until 2:30, but overall I think the greatest threat has moved off to the northeast now. This is now moving, this is that tornado area that we've been talking about right here, moving in on Lick Skillet right about now, right around Olmsted, Ferguson. You need to be in your safe place too, up there over in Logan County in southern Kentucky, because this thing has had a history of producing damage. We've seen the debris popping up. I've seen the pictures in the National Weather Service chat, and if it's still holding together right now on the ground, which it very well could be, it could still be producing some more. So right here where we have this area of circulation, those greens and those reds butted up against each other, just crossed over Lick Skillet Road, moving into the town of Lick Skillet, Olmsted, just moved through. This is our current radar scan. That's the area of rotation right here. This just moved through Lick Skillet. And it is going to keep on moving off to the northeast. We'll say at about probably 30 miles an hour. So this is going to be south of Ferguson, it looks like now. So that's going to keep on moving. Ferguson, you might want to stay in your safe place just a little bit longer, just in case this thing tries to make a little bit of a turn up your direction. But as of right now, most of these all have been moving off on that northeasterly track. But anywhere in that area, in this flashing polygon especially, if you're in between the Cave Springs area or the Oakville area, you need to go ahead and be getting to your safe place too, because if this thing is still on the ground, it's going to be kind of sliding right in between those two cities, the Cave Springs area, the Oakville area. This tornado has held together for quite a while. I was hoping today wouldn't be like this, but unfortunately, it looks like This is kind of how it's turning out to be, and now I've been focusing on that one. We have another tornado warning that was just issued over in parts of the western portions of our viewing area. This is going to be over closer to the Tennessee River. This is going to be in effect for parts of southeastern Benton County and far northern portions of Decatur County. So now we're working two different tornado warnings that are in effect for the viewing area. Also, want to point out with this one too, this is that strong confirmed tornado. This up here in southwest Kentucky. The National Weather Service office, I believe this is in Louisville, the Louisville office's territory now. They just went ahead and extended this one. Now they're going to keep this one going until 3:15. This tornado has been staying on the ground for a while, and they put a long tornado polygon on this one, again going until 3:15. I think it might exit our viewing area a little bit before that, before it pushes up into the Bowling Green coverage area. But as it stands right now, that tornado warning is still in effect. That polygon is still popping up purple. That tornado likely still on the ground that is moving through parts of Logan County, Kentucky right now. I've been focusing on that one. I will just say this too. Anywhere of these areas, Logan County, around the Russellville area, Corinth, Dennis, any of these spots, Middleton, any of those areas, now you need to be going ahead and getting your safe place, because this storm could still be staying on the ground. I'm looking at the rotation, and we can still see some of that rotation going on right here. The best area of rotation is a little bit to the east of Lickskillet. That is still moving to the northeast around 35 miles an hour or so. And I'm going to back out over here and get you an update on some of these. So now we're looking at pretty good rotation over here in our western counties too. This is going to be right around the Camden area. So if you're in Camden, now you need to be in your safe place right now too. It looks like we have some pretty good rotation signature right there. This actually looks like two different storms. Let me change radars and see exactly what's going on here. But again, if you're in, before I do this, let me just go back to some of these areas up here in Kentucky just before we move off of this one. This is going to be for anywhere in portions of central and east central and southern Logan County, Kentucky. You need to be in your safe place right now. Also, this is going to be for parts of Simpson County, mainly north of the town of Franklin in Simpson County, Kentucky. That tornado warning has now been extended into that area. That's going to go until 3:15. So you need to be in your safe place if you're there in northern Simpson County in southern Kentucky. Also, if you're in that central area around Logan County, as well the south central and east central areas of Logan County especially, you need to be in your safe place right now too. I'll let you know when that threat clears. But spent a lot of time on that tornado warning. We also have this other warning that's over here though. This is over here into our southwest, or our more western counties. Today it's turned out to be an active day. I was hoping we'd get away with a kind of calm one, maybe some straight line winds, but it seems like the tornadoes are wanting to come out today. Some of those ingredients with each new model run that came out, the ingredients were just looking a little bit more and more impressive through the overnight hours. I'm going to change radar sites and see exactly what we have going on. This is just outside of our viewing area still, at least where the main threat is. But Camden, you need to go ahead and be getting into your safe place. It looks like that storm that it was looking like was rotating a little bit. The National Weather Service, no tornado warning on that storm just yet. So that is good news. Our radar computer was putting up one of them spinning cylinders. But as of right now, it looks like this thing is just still severe thunderstorm warned, still probably talking about 60-mile-an-hour wind gust or so with this one. Let's see. I'm going to switch it over to the Memphis office. And just see if they have any of these updates coming in on this one. So this is going to be, wow, a lot of updates have been coming in. Got to scroll down. So still, it looks like that tornado or that severe thunderstorm warning will be expiring fairly soon, though. A lot of polygons popping up on my screen. That severe thunderstorm warning right here, this is going to expire at 2:30 this afternoon. So at least that's good. So this little portion right here in between this storm and that storm down there south of Huntington, a little bit of a break, but then you're going to have this other storm coming in on the backside of that. That's the one that's currently tornado warned. That is just outside of our viewing area. But we do have this severe thunderstorm warning, Houston, Humphreys County over here in West Tennessee, and still some heavy rainfall with that too. I don't have the lighting counter up there right now, but I imagine a good bit of lightning associated with that. Waverly could be seeing some heavy rainfall moving into your area in the next 10 minutes or so, a little bit longer before it gets up to Aaron. No tornado warning there just yet. That is still severe thunderstorm warned. We do have that tornado warning, though, where the main threat is still outside of our viewing area, but still in here in the southern portions of Benton County, the far northern portions of Decatur County. You are included in that tornado warning, so if you are around the Camden area, you need to go ahead and get into your safe place right now. Any of these towns over here in the southwestern portions of Benton County. So we're talking about Birdsong Creek, if you're in that subdivision, Chaseville, Coxburg, any of those areas, go ahead and get into your safe place right now, because that is a tornado warning. This is radar indicated rotation on this tornado warning that is back over here in Henderson County, Tennessee, which is in West Tennessee, that is just outside of our viewing area. But if that storm holds together, it will cross over into our viewing area, moving into parts of southwest Benton County and into the far northern portions of Decatur County. Still just a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm for parts of Benton County, Houston County, Humphreys County. That is still severe thunderstorm warned. We'll probably looking at winds maybe gusting up to about 60 miles an hour or so with that. But now I want to move it back up here to this confirmed tornado warning that's up here in southern Kentucky. This is the one that we broke in for initially. Let's see, I got a lot of updates coming in right now. Hold on one second, from the National Weather Service, talking about this tornado warning that is up here in parts of southwest Kentucky. So this is Logan County, Kentucky. Logan County, the tornado warning is going to continue for your area until 2:45 this afternoon. That's going to keep on pushing to the northeast, moving into Simpson County. It's not quite into Simpson County just yet. You still have a little bit of time before it moves into your area. But if you're in that far northwestern portion, Turnertown, Middleton, any of those areas, Auburn, South Union, any of those areas, you need to be in your safe place right now, because this storm is going to be passing over the county line before a whole lot longer, and it will start to move up into your area. I'm going to go back over here. Let's see. This update's coming in from the National Weather Service office in Louisville, Kentucky. That tornado, they're still talking about how it's just been on the ground for quite some time, and it just continues to move into that environment that's still favorable to keep these storms going. We have some of the wind shear that we need. The winds, we have the wind shear in place. We also have the instability in place that we need for some of these storms. The ingredients are definitely there for these storms to get going and stay pretty strong too. Let's see. So they received the report, the National Weather Service office in Louisville, Kentucky, received a report out of Todd County that just west and southwest of Allensville Road, or of Allensville on Highway 79, that's when we were talking about earlier, crossing right over 79, numerous trees and power lines down there, barns destroyed, some areas had roof damage. So that tornado had been on the ground, and it's been producing some damage too, unfortunately. I'm going to switch it back over here to the velocity product. And that radar signature, the velocity signature, showing us where that area of rotation could be. It is still holding together. It has not even gotten a whole lot weaker either. So this is going to be right there in between Russellville and Oakville, crossing right over 431, right about now, maybe just over there, depending on when this radar scan had just recently updated. But very close to that area, moving into Corinth, Dennis, that area too, Auburn, even into Middleton. You all need to be in your safe place. That's going to be around your area pretty soon. This is going to keep on moving to the northeast. I'd give it another 5 to 15 minutes or so, depending on where you're at. But still seeing good rotation signature. We'll see, that's the rotation signature right there where my mouse cursor is, right on the side of those two purple tornado polygons. We'll bring it over to the correlation coefficient, and it's that same exact area right there where we're still seeing a little bit of those radar signatures popping up, where that could still be putting a little bit of debris, lofting that up in the air with that radar beam hitting that. So this is still a situation you really need to be taken seriously. Fortunately for most of us in Tennessee, it's fairly calm, and that's good news for us, at least right now. So unfortunately, our viewers up there in southern Kentucky around the Logan County area, a potentially strong tornado is still moving through right now. So that's what we're on here for, is for those up there in Logan County, Kentucky. We really need to, we're going to be keeping our eye on that, and you just really need to stay in your safe place if you're in any of these areas: Oakville, Russellville, Corinth, Dennis, Auburn, Middleton, any of those spots, remain in your safe place because this tornado appears to still be on the ground and appears to still be at least lofting a little bit of debris up in the air as it continues to push through. We're still seeing the reds and the greens popping up right there on the radar scan. Again, right there along 431. That is in between Russellville and Oakville. This is the new radar scan that just updated right there, just crossing over 431. And now this is going to be moving over on the Franklin Road. This is Franklin Road up there in Logan County, Kentucky, around the Corinth area, around Dennis too. So that yellow that yellow cylinder that we have, that red spinning cylinder, that is our radar computer telling us, hey, we got pretty good rotation signature on this. Whenever you see one of those cylinders pop up, that's some pretty good radar signature popping up on our radar computer. This tornado has held together all the way from parts of Montgomery County. I was seeing pictures of that earlier, a little bit north of the Clarksville area. That tornado kind of originated there, did some damage there, kept on pushing up, messed up some barns, knocked down some trees, knocked down some power lines. Potentially a strong tornado that is still on the ground up there in Logan County, Kentucky. I'm going to zoom out and put it back. Let's see. Put it back on so we're on the Nashville radar right now and just see what's going on. So that tornado warning that is just outside of our viewing area, the worst of that has not quite crossed over into Benton County or the northern portion of Decatur County right now. But if it holds together, that same tornado warned storm is headed your direction. So still areas like Camden, or if you're in the southwestern, basically the western half of Benton County, you need to be in your safe place right now. Just some light showers out ahead of this along Interstate 65 around the Nashville area, Franklin, Tennessee, Columbia, Tennessee, still some light showers right there, not really having to deal with a whole lot. All these counties, though, that are highlighted in that shade of yellow, that is that tornado watch. That tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop within that area. The difference between a watch and a warning means the threat is imminent. There's a tornado warning on the ground right now, like we're seeing up there in Logan County, Kentucky. The tornado watch means the ingredients are there for potential tornadoes to develop. The conditions are favorable for those to develop, and they're going to stay favorable really for the next several hours. This tornado watch is set to run all the way until 7 p.m., and then we'll see if they have to extend that a little bit further to the east, over here into more of our eastern counties as well. Hopefully not, but that's something that we're going to be keeping our eye on too, because that threat over here, the severe threat in our eastern counties, is going to stick around with us a little bit later in the day. Still strong damaging winds possible. Obviously, tornadoes possible. Still seeing a few of them. We've had a couple of confirmed tornadoes, potentially the strong one up here in southern Kentucky. That tornado warning is still set to go until 3:15. This is still that confirmed tornado. I'm going to bring it back over here to the Hopkinsville radar site. And let's see what we're looking at on the radar. This is the reflectivity mode. So this is what we typically show whenever we're just talking about the rainfall. Anywhere where you have those reds, obviously very heavy rainfall. I'll pop the lightning counter on here real quick, but then I'm going to take it off because it sometimes can get very cluttered. It's not wanting to show any lightning. I just don't know if any data is not coming in. But anyways, we'll go ahead and just take that back off. But still, that strong potential tornado still showing up a pretty good velocity signature right here on the radar. This is an update that just came out right now a couple of seconds ago. It is now just crossed over Franklin Road up there in southern Kentucky over the past little bit. This is just to the northwest of the town of Corinth. So if you're right there in Corinth, you probably still need to be in your safe place just in case, especially if you're on the more northwestern side of that, because this area of rotation, that is exactly where the best area of rotation is on that tornado warned storm. Right now, I'm going to pop it back over to the correlation coefficient, the debris tracker. It's this area right here, those orange pixels that are popping up, where we're still seeing maybe a little bit of a debris signature. But as I'm looking at this radar right here, as I'm looking at this radar scan right here, it doesn't look quite as good as it was looking earlier. Still a little bit of a debris signature on that, but earlier we were seeing the teals and the blues and the greens popping up, indicating a lot of non-meteorological targets. As it stands right now, and it might just be going through an area that doesn't have as much stuff to try to get going and lift up in the air, but we're still seeing a little bit of a debris signature. And we are still seeing a rotation signature, and it's still holding together pretty tightly too. I wish I could say that it was weakening, but it really doesn't appear to be weakening a whole lot for us, unfortunately. I'm going to go back over here to check over the National Weather Service offices that cover our viewing area. It's still right now this one up here that we're most concerned with, that is still that confirmed tornado on the ground. But over there in our western spots where we were just talking about a little bit earlier, the National Weather Service here in Nashville, they said that they're watching that storm that's crossing the Tennessee River very closely now. There is still some rotation with that, but they're just keeping it with that severe thunderstorm warning for the moment. They might have to go ahead and upgrade that, though, if any of that rotation starts to get just a little bit better. So I'm going to back off of that Kentucky storm for just a second, and we're going to have to switch it over down here now to the storm that's around the Tennessee River right now. Let's see. I'm going to change radar sites. So it's still this area right about there. This is going to be north of New Johnsonville, a little bit to the west of Waverly, Tennessee River right here. So that area of circulation is right there. We're going to zoom in and get you some more of these town names too. Again, this is not tornado warned right now. This is just severe thunderstorm warned. If the rotation gets a little bit better, though, the National Weather Service here in Nashville talking about, they're probably going to have to go ahead and issue a tornado warning for that. But right now, you're in the clear, at least of any tornado. No tornado warning up right now, but still a severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for parts of Humphreys County right here. Waverly, you're included in that severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll just hope that rotation doesn't get much tighter. But right now, just severe thunderstorm warnings. So still some strong damaging winds possible with that. I'll show you a wide view what's going on the radar site. We have some showers that are right here just to the north of Gallatin, south of Westmoreland, north of Hartsville. These really aren't going to be causing you too many issues, though. These are just some showers that are out ahead of that main line that's moving through. Don't really think you're going to have to worry about that at the moment, at least. It's these storms that are along the cold front. They're going to have some of the better ingredients to really get going and get going strong. Some of those storms trying to produce some more tornadoes, too. I want to switch over back. Let's see if we can get on this map right here. Okay, wow, this is a new update that just came out. So this is the... This is the new tornado threat map, and earlier we were talking about how the best chance looked to be kind of more of our central and western areas for that greater tornado threat. When I was showing this map just a little bit ago, it was all in Middle Tennessee highlighted in brown. Well, now that tornado threat has increased a little bit, so now I need to change my map title too. That brown area was a 5 to 9% chance. Now we're going to be talking about a 10% or greater chance now in that shade of yellow, 10 to 15% chance or so for more tornadoes to develop, especially within that shade of yellow. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to that. Hopefully things calm down, but the Storm Prediction Center just went ahead and upped our tornado threat as we head through the rest of this afternoon and this evening. Those counties still under that tornado watch. That's going to go until 7 p.m. We'll see if they change that. So they also, when they went ahead and bumped us up to that enhanced risk, that level 3 out of 5 risk for our areas, mainly along and west of Interstate 65, they just went ahead and bumped that tornado threat up too. That tornado threat's going to get higher as well. So we're still talking about a, sorry, reading messages coming in at the same time. Still talking about a better chance for some of those stronger to severe thunderstorms moving in, and possibly more tornadoes now, it's looking like, unfortunately, especially if you're along and east of Interstate 24. If you're anywhere in that shade of orange right there, that's going to cover mainly our western and central counties. The further east you go, the threat's a little bit lower, but that threat is definitely going to remain there for the next several hours on into the evening hours before that threat finally exits the far eastern part of our viewing area. A little bit later on tonight, by about 10 or 11 o'clock or so. I'm going to pull Futurecast out here and just get you a little bit of a timing on this too. So again, that threat was just bumped up for areas along and west of Interstate 65. Here's when some of these storms could be arriving into this area. This is the 5 o'clock picture. Between about 4 to 6 p.m., I think, is when we'll see the greatest threat right here in the Nashville area, and that's going to keep on sliding to the east as we head through the rest of the afternoon and evening hours as that cold front just continues to kind of right out ahead of that have that favorable environment for more of those strong to severe thunderstorms to develop. This is the 10 o'clock picture right here. That cold front's going to sweep through, and we're also going to lose some of those strong to severe thunderstorms. Those are just going to push to the east of our viewing area, and we're not going to have to deal with that threat once that main line finally passes out. One thing we will have to deal with, though, is just some colder air that's moving through. We're going to drop our temperatures down quite a bit. All right, I'm looking at this right now, though, and that storm that we were talking about around the Tennessee River, National Weather Service in Nashville just went ahead and issued a new tornado warning on that, storm too. So I'm going to bring up the radar and see what we have going on right here. And so here's that tornado warning. This is also in Clarksville. 18-wheeler was just flipped. Just got an email about that with that storm that moved through. So this tornado warning is going to include the town of Waverly, Pursley, Silvertop, McEwen, Halls Creek, That tornado warning going until 3:15 this afternoon. So that's another tornado warning that has just been added to the mix now. That's the storm that we were watching where it was looking like, we were seeing some pretty good rotation, and unfortunately it has held together, and it is new tornado warning just went up on that again until 3:15 this afternoon. Back here closer to the Tennessee, back here a little bit further west of the Tennessee River, moving into parts of Benton County. Now we're starting to see that tornado warning storm move into that area as well. So if you're anywhere in these town names that I call out, the Birdsong Creek subdivision, that area, Gizmonda, any of these names right over here in the western portions of Benton County, you really need to go ahead and be in your safe place as well. We don't have a confirmed tornado yet, at least that we know of, like we do up there in southern Kentucky right now, but this is still radar indicated rotation, so this could very well be dropping a tornado or dropping one anytime soon. But this is that new tornado, and then we'll get back to that southern Kentucky one here in just a second. This is the one that's going to be for parts of Houston and Humphreys County that's going until 3:15 this afternoon. This does include the town of Waverly, also includes the town of McEwen. I'll put the velocity mode up here and just see if we're seeing any good areas of rotation. I'm going to change radars just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, we'll put it back on the Nashville radar site. And so this is just going to be that general area of rotation. So just north of Pursley, around the Trinity area, this is, it looks like a little bit more broad rotation, much more broad than what we're seeing up there in southern Kentucky. But again, anywhere in parts of I'm going to zoom out so we get a little bit better picture of it. So this is going to be for the northern half of Humphreys County. Waverly, you are included in that tornado warning. Also up here into the southeastern portion of Houston County, you're also included in that tornado warning as well. That one's going to go until 3:15 p.m. I'm going to switch back over here to the National Weather Service chat. I think this was probably issued for radar. Okay, so the National Weather Service meteorologist in Nashville went ahead and issued this based off the indication that they were seeing on the radar, that rotation signature a little bit better. That severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. So no confirmation on a tornado on the ground with that tornado warning that we're looking at right here for northern parts of Humphreys County, parts of Houston County too. No tornado spotted there yet, but the rotation on the radar was enough to let the National Weather Service say, hey, we're going to go ahead and issue this tornado warning for that area. Again, that runs until 3:15. Want to go get back to this tornado though that's in southern Kentucky, because this is still that tornado that was potentially pretty strong, possibly EF2 to EF3 strength, according to one of the meteorologists from the National Weather Service in Louisville, Kentucky. The area of rotation right now has passed across Dennis now. It's moving in towards the Auburn area. I'm going to change radar sites, put us on the Hopkinsville radar and see what we have, see what this looks like. Well, that's a little bit of good news. The rotation isn't looking near as good as what we were looking at earlier. Earlier, as this storm was moving through parts of Montgomery County, around just north of the Clarksville area here in Tennessee and up into southwest Kentucky, it was a very tight radar signature. We could see it on the reflectivity, the rain just kind of wrapping around that. The wind, the velocity product was looking very good too. A very tight signature on the radar. The correlation coefficient, that's our debris tracker, that was popping up in teals and blues, indicating very likely that radar beam was hitting debris that was being thrown into the air. We'll put over the debris tracker, and this is good. Not seeing as much of a debris signature, or really any of one right now. That's the Hopkinsville radar site. We'll put it on the Nashville radar site and see what it's saying. Still not as much of a debris signature too on that signature, or on that right there. So still an area of rotation, but I'm not seeing a debris signature popping up. That's where we'd be seeing those kind of yellow and orange pixels, teal, green pixels, blue pixels popping up, and we're not seeing that right now. So hopefully that's a little bit of good news for us. We'll wait and see what the National Weather Service offices up there in Kentucky want to go ahead and do with the rest of that tornado warning. As it stands right now, though, this tornado warning is set to go until 3:15 this afternoon, so still another little less than 30 minutes left on that tornado warning. I think it's going to exit our viewing area a little bit quicker than that, though, because that's going to extend up more into the Bowling Green area. So we're not going to have to deal with this in portions of Logan County, or the far eastern portions of Logan County or northern Simpson County for a whole lot longer. But if you are in these areas, you still need to go ahead and be in your safe place just in case. Play it safe. Still seeing some rotation there, but again, not seeing as much of a debris signature right now. So hopefully that funnel that tornado has started to lift, and it's not really producing as much damage for us right now. But that rotation is still right over the town of Auburn. This is the county line right here that'll take it out of our viewing area and push it over into the Bowling Green area. There's the new updated look on the radar. Still, this area right here of rotation, that is going to be crossing right over 68, Highway 68 right now. Let's see if we can get any more town names to pop up. South Union, Morgantown Road also right here. It's going to be crossing over Morgantown Road really soon. Highway 68 or Bowling Green Road also crossing over that very soon as well. Again, that is just about to exit our viewing area, but we do still have a couple of these tornado warnings back here to the southwest that we're having to watch now too. These were just issued a little bit ago. These are going to be around the Tennessee River, and we're still seeing some decent rotation too. I'll put it on the Memphis radar site for this one. Actually, we're going to go back to the Nashville site. We get a little bit better picture. This is where we have the rotation. This is just about to move. This is Benton County right here. Here's Henry County. That's where Paris is. Here's Camden. This is right here in Benton County. This is moving right into the very far southwestern portion of Benton County right there. And then we also had the second tornado warning. This one was issued a little bit later, about 10-15 minutes or so ago. That is going to be around the Houston and Humphreys County right now. This does include Waverly in Humphreys County, and then we're also talking about the southeastern portion of Houston County as well. This is going to go until 3:15 p.m. This tornado warning was issued because of radar indicated rotation. So this is still not a confirmed tornado that we have on the ground just yet, but the radar signature was good enough for the National Weather Service meteorologist here at the Nashville office to go ahead and issue that tornado warning on that severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. I'm going to switch back over here to the National Weather Service chat again. I've got a lot of things going on my computer right now, so just bear with me as I switch back and forth and try to read some of these things. So no new updates on any of the tornadoes. They're just talking about what we were showing earlier. The greater chance for tornado development now as we head through the rest of the afternoon into this evening than what we were thinking yesterday. So our tornado threat has gone up greater than a 10% chance now for areas mainly along and to the west of Interstate 65. And then there's also that potential for a strong EF2 tornado or two in that same area as well. I'll flip it over and show you that here in just a second. I'm going to check the Louisville office. See if any new updates are coming out. Okay, this is good too. When we were up there on that Southern Kentucky storm, not able to find the debris ball really on the debris tracker product that we were looking at. National Weather Service meteorologist up there in Louisville saying, thankfully, that has lost its debris ball, so we think that tornado has lifted, but it's likely going to cycle again in this environment. So don't let your guard down. But once it tries to recycle, I think it's going to be almost pushed out of our viewing area or very close to it. So at least our viewers, y'all up there in Southern Kentucky, are going to have to deal with the threat of that for a whole lot longer, thankfully. So it was around the Logan, around the Olmsted, Kentucky area. We were also mentioning those areas earlier in Logan County. National Weather Service meteorologists were calling dispatch. They have preliminary reports of damaged homes and barns up there in the Olmsted, Kentucky area. So that's why it's just so important to be in your safe place, because you got to do everything you can to try to keep yourself protected if you do have one of these tornadoes coming over you. And that one right there has the potential to be pretty strong. We'll see what the actual damage survey finds, but one of the other meteorologists at the National Weather Service talking about potential EF2, EF3 strength according to the radar on that tornado that was moving up through our viewing area in parts of Southern Kentucky. Let's see. Still have this tornado watch in effect until 7 p.m. That's the tornado warning up there. And actually, I'm going to zoom in on that one. We're going to zoom in up here onto Southern Kentucky just to see if this thing has cycled yet, meaning it's lifted and come back down on the ground. So this is where the area of rotation is. This cylinder will update in just a second. The velocity product already has updated. These reds and greens right here on the radar, still the best area of rotation. We're on the Nashville radar. That's to the south of here. These winds going away from the radar. These green winds, green pixels, are the winds going towards it. That's your area of rotation right there crossing over Highway 68. That is just about to move out of our viewing area, and hopefully it stays off the ground as it exits our viewing area. And hopefully it doesn't cycle again for anybody's sake, but that will get it out of the viewing area, pushing it up further into the Bowling Green area. Hopefully nobody has to deal with that tornado for a whole lot longer though, because that one has been the one that has been reported producing some damage. So this is now again the fourth tornado warning of the day if you count them separately, more if you count the extensions, but today's shaping up to be a pretty active day. Like we were talking earlier too, I think that threat is going to continue to to maybe gain momentum now. Last night it wasn't looking quite as promising for as bad a tornado development, but now the Storm Prediction Center has started to increase that tornado threat a little bit for us too, bumping us up into that 10% risk, 10% or greater risk in that area of yellow. That's going to be for areas along and to the west of Interstate 65. Also, unfortunately, now we can't rule out a tornado around EF2 or slightly greater strength popping up in that shade of yellow as well. Earlier, when we were coming in this morning, it was at the 5 to 9% for much of Middle Tennessee. Everybody highlighted in that shade of brown. The tornado watch, though, still set to go until 7 p.m. We'll take it back to the radar real quick, too. See how much longer these tornado warnings have on them. This is still that tornado warning that is in the far western portion of the viewing area, closing in on the Tennessee River. This is going to be in the southern portions of Benton County. It's this area of rotation that we're seeing right here, just to the east of 641. So that's what we're looking at right there. Also, this other tornado warning, 3:15 p.m. This tornado warning going to be in effect for parts of Humphreys and Houston County. That one's only got another 20 minutes or so left on it. This one that's over here in Benton County, that's only got 6 minutes or so left on that one. So that's going to go until 3 p.m. I'm going to switch it back over here to the radar products and see if this tornado warning. Okay, well, actually, before we get to that severe thunderstorm warning, that tornado warning that was in effect for parts of Houston and Humphreys County, the National Weather Service has gone and extended that with a severe thunderstorm warning as those storms start to push a little bit further to the east. These are going to be moving into parts of Montgomery and Dixon County as we head into the next 30 minutes or so, and that severe thunderstorm warning going to remain in place until 3:45. More than likely looking at winds around 60 miles an hour or greater, some of those wind gusts associated with some of those storms. So we'll keep an eye on that tornado warning. This will be interesting to see what the National Weather Service does with this tornado warning that's back here in parts of southwest Benton County. Technically set to go until 3 o'clock this afternoon, another 5 minutes on that, but that could get extended. We'll wait and see what they do there. Here's this tornado warning that we've been tracking up here in southern Kentucky. Finally, some good news out of this one, at least for the viewers in our viewing area. This is where that area of rotation is. This diagonal line right here is the last part of our viewing area in southern Kentucky before it pushes up on into the Bowling Green TV markets coverage area. It's that rotation right there along the county line. So that is just about to push out. That is just about to push out of our viewing area. So right now it looks like things have started to calm down, at least just a little bit up there in parts of southwest Kentucky. And let's see. Also, Greg just came in, meteorologist. Greg, typically doing the morning show, he has come in to help out too. So we got both of us.
I mean,
now.
This is our job. I mean, when it comes down to it, we tap in. What I'm going to tell you to do is to tap out for a second.
I am going to get me a drink of water.
Get yourself a little bit of water. I'm going to tap in, and we're going to switch over, because when it comes to a day like this, we have to have multiple people doing things to help you out. And this has been a really long late morning and early afternoon, and we're showing you a lot of things all here at once. And when it comes down to any tornado warning, I treat them all like there's something on the ground. A lot of them, maybe a quick little spin up for a minute or two, or a lot of them could be the long track ones that we're talking about when it comes to confirmed on the radar. And we're seeing things and we're getting pictures and visuals. Right now, this is not a great day for us. We knew it coming into yesterday, into today, that things would not be perfect when it came to all of that. So now here's where we're at, and here's where we're going. And we'll do a couple of things here for you just to kind of barrow it down to where we're at. So what I'm going to do when it comes to severe weather is I'm going to turn off all of the watches and all of the things that are just maybe are confusing for you, and just show you where we're at, because the warnings are the most important things. But look right here on your screen. Now, how we actually talk about what's going on here, and I'm going to scoot this to the side because I'm an old school guy. I'm going to go drive the radar myself. That's how I go, because if you see me, I'm distracting. I don't want to distract you from this. The yellow colors are a tornado watch that is in effect until 7 o'clock. The yellow shading, flashing yellow boxes, severe thunderstorm warnings. That means we could have wind excess of 75 miles per hour. The red boxes are the ones we worry about, but not the most. You take a look off to the west of Dixon, you get down toward Camden again. I cannot tell you how many times I have talked to Camden about tornado warnings. It has been 4 years worth of it happening, and this is where you are at. So you know, find your safe spot. You go to the basement, and what I want you to do is either turn your TV up or download the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app and then turn that up. That will help you. Thankfully, the biggest threat that we have is moving away from the viewing area. Now, when you see a purple box, that means that we have confirmation in some sort, whether it be radar or it be a visual, an actual picture of a tornado on the ground. That's where we're at. This is moving through. This is pulling through. What did the different colors mean? That's the big thing here is sometimes weather, and my grandma used to tell me this, sometimes weather, it can just be confusing. What am I looking at? What's going on? So let's work you through what we're looking at and what is going on when it comes to everything. I am going to get rid of that watch, that yellow color. So now we're getting to bare bones here. What do the reds and greens mean? Well, I'm going to zoom you in. Oh, and it came right back on. Of course it did, because why not? Why not listen to what I'm doing for you? But no, you take a look at the reds and the greens, and what that means is that here we are. We're looking at areas of concern that we have to really focus in on. And the red boxes, like I mentioned, are tornado warnings. Now, we've had several of these in the last 2 to 3 hours. Brett has been going over this nonstop with you guys, but the red and greens mean wind going away and toward the radar. Now, you don't want wind to go in the opposite direction, because when that happens, you get this. You get a circle. Wind begins to make a circle, and that's where we're at right now. This is not as well developed as some of the other cells that we have seen. However, it is still moving off to our north and our east, and we're taking a look here at a track at about 35 miles per hour, where most of these storms have been today. So Yellow Creek, Ellis Mills, Van Leer, Charlotte, this is where this is moving. This is all moving to the north and the east of the Nashville area. We have been doing a lot of wall-to-wall coverage. What we call wall-to-wall in weather and in news is just, we're making you not watch what you want to watch. However, just because you're not seeing the weather doesn't mean that other people don't need to know what's happening. That's our job. It's the whole reason that we're here, is to make sure you know what's happening in real time anywhere that anyone can view us. So these are the areas moving in. This is breaking up considerably. However, what we've been seeing is a little bit of, like, I would say, rebooting, where you have something that happens and then you reboot the system, or you rewind the VCR and then you get the tape that's right back in and you start from scratch. That's where we are when it comes to our weather pattern right now, moving down toward the south and the east. We're going to keep watching this as it moves forward. The yellow box just says you're going to get wind. I'm going to tell you that right now. A lot of lightning and some heavy rainfall. We called for it a couple of days ago. Now it's moving in, and it's got very slow mover here over the course of the next couple of hours. So keep that in mind. This is not going to be a quick moving system. This may take us all the way through 11. So Brett and I, we're going to be here for you. We got a lot going on for you, and we'll keep letting you know what is happening in real time. But that's just the biggest thing. Safe spot. If you get any warning at any point, when it comes to severe weather, when it's just a thunderstorm or a tornado warning, you have to look at it. And we have already had a few confirmations of tornadoes that were likely on the ground that we've seen throughout this afternoon. And I'm going to show you one more thing here where it comes to how do we know? If it's just, we call it radar detection, how do we know? This is a very interesting map. You're used to seeing this, okay? There we go. The greens, yellows, oranges, purples, those all indicate rainfall rates. Here's what we look at when it comes down to, has there been something on the ground? And we have areas that are pointed in yellow here. This is a debris tracker. Basically what it does is it tells us, did something fly into the air high enough, long enough, where we could pick up what's going on? And we have seen that quite a bit throughout late morning into early afternoon. So we're going to keep watching all of these watches and warnings that are in here. Brett and I are going to keep you going back and forth. We're going to kind of pivot here. And at any point you want to tag back in, I will just drive the radar for you if you want me to. That's up to you.
It's whatever. Actually, you know what would Probably be a better help is if you could watch the National Weather Service chat, because trying to flip back and forth.
Yeah.
If there's any way you can get that up.
That's what we do. We do
Cool,
teamwork
man.
here to make you all safe. That's what we do.
That would be great. Bring this little thing back. All right. So, okay. Daniel, can you say that one more time? So here's what we have going on right now. Still that, okay, good news. Greg, you may have been covering this when I was away for a minute. But that tornado warning that confirmed tornado that was up here into our portions of southern Kentucky, that is now crossed out of the viewing area. So anywhere here, you're not going to have to deal with any of that. So all those locations where I was telling y'all that y'all need to be in y'all safe place, around the Auburn area, Middleton, any of those areas that were up there in southwest, south central areas of Kentucky, you are free to get away from that now. That tornado threat has passed you. You are not going to have to deal with any of that, at least with that particular storm, any longer. So the good news, that has crossed over the county line. That is now out of our viewing area. So any of those areas in Logan County, Simpson County, any of those spots, you're all good. Do we have any new information, Greg?
Humphreys County has canceled the tornado warning for right now. So
yep, there it goes.
A little bit better. It may not necessarily always show up on our map as quickly as they do, but they just did it moments ago. So that's good news for us.
Because I know there was 2 tornado warnings. That one's disappeared, and it looks like maybe there's still just that one more, but at least that one is gone with now.
Yes, the first one's gone.
Cool. Now we're not going to have to deal with that. Now we just have this one that's a little bit on the back side of that. This is going to go until 3:30 this afternoon. So still another 26 minutes left on this one. And it's, our radar computer, I've been talking about this for a while too now. It's pretty cool. It kind of tells us when the radar computer is picking up on some better rotation right there, it'll put that yellow and red spinning cylinder on at that storm. But we can see that. That's going to update in just a second. But it's this area right there along the Tennessee River where you're seeing those reds and greens butting up against each other. The greens, the wind's going towards the radar. We're on the Nashville radar site right now. So these winds are coming this direction. The red pixel winds are going the opposite direction. And that's where we're getting that rotation. That is crossing over the river right now, and that's the one that we're still watching. Like Greg was mentioning, though, that first tornado warning that we had, that one is over and done with. So good news on that one. This is a separate tornado warning now. This one's going to go until 3:30 this afternoon. This one is for Humphreys County, and that is still right now the only tornado warning that we have left. So that's at least some good news. We still have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. These are more than likely for strong wind gusts. That was going into today one of the main threats. That tornado threat has definitely picked up some, though. Storm Prediction Center bumped us up to 10% or a little bit better tornado threat. But the strong damaging winds, those will continue as that whole line continues to drop a little bit further to the southeast. Greg, I think you got a little bit more information coming in too.
Yeah, that I do from Montgomery County here, and this is just reports of RVs that have been tipped over and potential injuries. So we're going to watch that here when it comes to Montgomery County from that storm that moved through and that potential tornado. So that's the latest coming into the National Weather Service.
All right, thanks a lot for that. And I'm also just seeing a couple of pictures up here in Clarksville right now. That's a tornado warning that I was on probably about an hour and a half ago, and seeing some damage. It looks like this home, the roof torn off, stuff, debris just everywhere, trees, all sorts of snapped. So that is, let's see, that was on Eva Drive in Clarksville. Significant damage. That's coming from the fire, one of the fire departments over there, the city of Portland. So some damage definitely up in that area. That confirmed tornado went through Montgomery County, pushed over into parts of southwest Kentucky. Again, that has now exited our viewing area, so we're not going to have to deal with any of that, at least with that particular storm in our viewing area. What we do still have, though, going on are these couple of severe thunderstorm warnings over here in our more western areas. That's right there with that line of storms that's moving through. That's going to keep on dropping down to the southeast. And then also that red flashing polygon, that is that tornado warning, and that's why we are on right now. That is really the only tornado warning that is in effect for our viewing area. Let me just change up products real quick, and let's see. Because earlier we were seeing some really good signatures on the regular old rainfall, the base reflectivity that we look at. Then we were also seeing the very good signatures on the wind products and the debris tracker and all that. I want to switch it over here to this. This is the velocity, talking about the winds. I was just showing you that. This product right here that I'm about to switch it to, this is going to be the debris tracker. There could still be a little bit of a debris signature right here. It's not quite as prominent as what we were looking at earlier, but these colors are kind of standing out to me versus the these, the sea of pink and red around it, some of these yellows, indicating possibly a little bit of the debris getting thrown up in the air. So we're going to keep on watching that, see if any more reports come out of the National Weather Service chat, because it is still looking like some decent rotation right there. Our radar computer is still putting up that yellow spinning cylinder on there, indicating to us that we do have some pretty good rotation going on right there on that storm. Still a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, strong winds going to be possible with that. And I also want to take you back here today too, because this is really, if you think about it, just the start of it. Some of these tornado warnings started to go off in our northwestern counties about 11:45 or so this morning. So we've been here for quite a while now, covering several different tornado warnings, and this is still kind of just the beginning of it for our northwestern spots. All of this is going to keep on sliding to the east as we head through the rest of the day. Every county that's highlighted in yellow, that is that tornado watch, and that's going to go until 7 p.m. Recently, probably about an hour or so ago, the Storm Prediction Center did increase our tornado threat, and now it does have these areas along and west of Interstate 65 highlighted in that shade of yellow, and that is that 10% or greater tornado threat. Possibly some tornadoes getting around EF2, maybe even a little bit stronger than that strength. So the tornado ingredients are going to be there, especially where you see that little swath of yellow. Everybody in this brown area, this is how we started out today. All of Middle Tennessee was only in that shade of brown. That's the 5 to 9% chance for tornadoes there. But still, that tornado threat has gone up a little bit since this morning, so that's something that we're definitely going to be having to keep our eye on. I want to show you more of a general overview, because again, this is kind of the start of this. As we head through the rest of the day, though, all these storms are going to continue to slide east as that front moves through. So until about 6 p.m., I think our western counties will see the better chance for that. This is going to be obviously into the early evening hours. And then right here in the central portions of Middle Tennessee, kind of close to Interstate 65, 4 to 9 p.m. for the time frame on these. These are going to be pushing in on the Nashville area probably about 4, 5, 6 o'clock or so. So it'll be here before a whole lot longer into the Nashville area, and then over in our more eastern areas too. I think we're going to be looking at some of those storms continuing to push over into those spots. Still that level 3 risk for some of these strong to severe thunderstorms as we head through the next several hours. Right now, we're still just monitoring these couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. No tornado warnings up for our viewing area, at least in parts of southern Kentucky anymore. We are all in the clear on that. Still a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. These are going to be out here for the western portions of us, areas like Dixon County, Houston County, down into Humphreys County, and still that area of rotation lined up right there along the river. Got some more information. What you got, Greg?
Not a lot of big information, but while you keep digging into what you're looking at right here on the radar and everything,
I like it.
just know that even if you don't have a tornado warning, all the yellow boxes that you see that are flashing right there, sometimes straight line wind can be worse than a little pop-up, spin-up tornado. Now, we're talking about ones that could be bigger. So we're keeping you posted here when it comes to strength of a tornado. But if you've got maybe a 50, 60 mile wide swath of area that could have 75, 80, 90 mile per hour wind speeds, that is not easy to work through. So severe thunderstorms are just equally as dangerous this time of the year when we haven't had this much rain.
Absolutely. Also, while you were doing that, it gave me a chance to look at some of these pictures coming in from emergency management. This is from Fort Campbell Boulevard. This is around the Clarksville area, and it looks like significant damage, unfortunately, to some of these homes and some of these neighborhoods. Roofs torn off, walls gone. So we'll hopefully everybody was all right in that. Hopefully everybody in their safe place up there with that tornado warning or that tornado that was moving through Montgomery County a little bit earlier this afternoon before it crossed over into southern Kentucky. That picture, though, significant damage in that area. That's the one where I was reading earlier. The National Weather Service meteorologist up there in Louisville, Kentucky, or Paducah, was saying that had the signature EF2, EF3 strength potentially. So hopefully everybody's all right as that from the tornado that was moving up through that area. Right now, still just this tornado warning. It goes until 3:30, so we are 19 minutes away, 18 minutes now away from this tornado warning expiring, and that is still going to be in effect for parts of Humphreys County. Still those severe thunderstorms, like Greg was saying, those strong straight line winds can produce quite a bit of damage too, so you got to be careful if you're in those severe thunderstorm warnings as well. I'll pull up the lightning back on it, and you know, not as much lightning as we were seeing earlier. That first storm that we had moving through Henry County late this morning, early this afternoon, a lot of lightning associated with that one. These aren't producing quite as much lightning for us, but still it is giving us the threat for some of those strong damaging winds, also the chance for more of these tornadoes to develop too as we head through the rest of the day. I'll change radar products, put it back over here to the velocity mode, and I'm going to be showing this one a lot as we head through the day. This is just south of New Johnsonville, just to the west of Hurricane Mills. It's this area where the reds and greens are butting up against each other, and that rotation right there is still looking fairly tight. So that's a pretty good radar signature right there. I am going to switch it back over to the correlation coefficient. That's a new update that just came out literally 2 seconds ago. Not seeing really much in terms of any debris right there on that, at least. That could just be moving through an area where there's not as much for it to pick up. But as far as the reflectivity goes, it's still a pretty good rotation signature on this storm that's over here around the Tennessee River. Again, this is just to the north of Bakerville, just south of New Johnsonville. If you're around Glenwood, Hurricane Mills, any of those areas, even up into Waverly, play it safe. You need to be in your safe place right now. That's going to be the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. Put as many walls between you and the outside of the home as you can. If you have a basement or if you have a storm shelter, I know not everybody has those, but those are going to be two of your better options if you do have any of those. Also, if you have to get out, if you're on the roads or know anybody on the roads, and some of these might be crossing over those roads like we were talking about up there in southern Kentucky, and you come up to any underpasses and you might think, hey, this is a good place to stay as that tornado warning's moving through. That is not a good place at all. It's actually going to make things worse for you because those winds that are coming through, they're just going to bottleneck and get even stronger as they push underneath the overpass. So do not stop and think you're safe under an overpass because you're actually just going to make things a little bit worse for you. Still that tornado warning, 315. This is currently the only tornado warning that we have up. So I'm hoping that we can let this one go at 3:30 and then we don't have to deal with any more tornado warnings, at least for a little while. It's been a long stretch of just constant, continuous tornado warnings as we've gone through the afternoon. Got any updates? What you got?
I don't have any updates, but just piggybacking on what you're doing because you're doing so much right there. You got the computer, you got everything going. When it comes to safe spots, you mentioned it.
Right.
That if you don't have a basement, what do? I was a kid and never had a basement my entire life. Lived in the Midwest, tornadoes all the time. So for me, it was that closet, that inner bedroom, that place, but have a plan in place. That's also. Right. You don't figure it out when it's happening.
That's right.
You figure it out ahead of time. So if this is moving in your direction, which it will be for most of us in Middle Tennessee, figure out your plan right now. Don't wait until we tell you when we pop on TV and tell you to go. Find your safe spot, know where it's at already, and then just say, let's go. And then we're all there. That's kind of one of the best things you can possibly do when it comes to this severe weather.
And absolutely, Greg. And you know, you've had a lot of notice today too. We've been on this for quite a while.
Yes, we have.
And I'm also looking right here too. You know what? Let me take it back over to the tornado watch map because right now, it's just our more western counties that are included in this tornado watch. The National Weather Service is on the phone now, though, with the Storm Prediction Center, and they're discussing on what exactly they're going to do with this tornado watch. This is going to be for our more eastern counties. As of right now, none of our far eastern counties, including the Cookeville area, Crossville, McMinnville, Tullahoma, none of those spots right now under a tornado watch just yet. I think there is a decent chance, though. We'll wait and see what the Storm Prediction Center decides to do. I think there is a decent chance, though, that might get extended over into that area. Here's another emergency manager in the National Weather Service chat. This is a report coming in a little bit late, but he's saying that extensive damage reported in Clarksville. That's like that picture I was just telling you about. I'll see if we can maybe get permission to show that a little bit later on, but I can tell you the significant damage in that neighborhood right there. Public reports numerous power poles down or snapped. I got new updates coming in. My screen's jumping up on me. Here's a new picture that just came in. Roofs totally torn off. Debris all in the roads, but trees broken, trees uprooted, buildings collapsed, apartment complexes destroyed, houses destroyed, homes with roofs completely gone, cars flipped over, and some picked up and thrown. So I really hope everybody was okay up there as that tornado was going through up there in parts of Montgomery County. So just all that to say, too, these storms are no joke today. These tornadoes could get quite strong. The Storm Prediction Center did go ahead and upgrade our tornado threat as we head through the rest of this afternoon on into the evening hours. And you just got to be in your safe place and ready to get to your safe place. Know where that is, like me and Greg were just talking earlier, before these storms get to you, because you might not have a whole lot of time. We're going to try to get you as much leeway, as much warning time on these tornadoes as we can. But if that tornado just decides to drop right down, you might not have a lot of time. So you have to get there very quickly. So just go ahead and be ready for that. Pay attention, stay weather aware as we head through the rest of the day, because this isn't going to be one of those super fast moving systems that's in and out of here very quickly. This is our first tornado warning was late this morning, and it's pretty much just been constant for the past 3.5 hours or so of just tornado warning after tornado warning. And this is only kind of the first part of it. These are still moving up into the northwestern portions of our viewing area right now. They'll keep on dropping down to the east as we head through the rest of the day. And again, leaving us with a chance for a couple more tornadoes to a few more tornadoes to try to develop as that line of storms progresses a little bit further to the east. I'll bring it back over here to the radar map and see what we have going on. Still no tornadoes just yet. Let's see, or still no more new tornado warnings just yet. This is that main line of storms right here, crossing over the Tennessee River, the northwestern corner of our viewing area, but it still has all this area to work with right here. Still a good area with good ingredients, especially some of these areas closer to Interstate 65 and still a little bit to the west of that. I think that's still where the greatest tornado threat is going to be. But again, as these storms move a little bit further to the east, as we head through the rest of the day, those ingredients are going to be there too. Last night it was looking like it might try to weaken up a little bit as it gets closer to there, but it's still going to be holding together pretty strong, I think, as we head on into the later part of this evening, on into very early, well, we'll say close to midnight or so, 11 o'clock or so, before it exits the eastern portion of our viewing area. No severe thunderstorm or no more new tornado warning, still just that one tornado warning that is in effect for Humphreys County. Our radar computer is still wanting to put that rotation signature on that. I have not seen any reports of a confirmed tornado. I'm going to check a couple of these different chat rooms and just see if we have any information. I don't see any there. Let's see. Okay. Well, looks like we have something going on. Yep, new tornado warning just issued. That rotation just rapidly increased. So we're going to zoom over here to the velocity and see exactly what's going on. But here's this tornado warning. That tornado warning is set to expire at 3:30. Unfortunately, this is a brand new tornado warning that we just got. That's going to go until 3:45 this afternoon. Current time 3:19. This area right here, that's that area of rotation that the National Weather Service was looking at. Went ahead and decided to go ahead and issue that new tornado warning. We'll go ahead and look at this. This is going to be in Dixon County. My computer is frozen up on me. Give me 1 second.
Well, then I'll take over for you, Brett.
Appreciate it.
I got you covered. And here's how this kind of thing works. You know, if you're just watching this and you go, what are we showing you? How is it going? Why do we keep getting one after another? This kind of a weather system, when we have been this warm, we're going to get this cold so quickly. These weather systems can do what we call cycling. They can go through, you know, using up some of the moisture and then feeding off of what just happened. And then you can get these little tight rotations in these lines of thunderstorms. Oh, your computer's working again, Brett. There we go.
I was getting that poor internet connection popping up on me. But here we go. This is going to be just north of Bear Creek Road, just south of Linda Lane, too. This is just to the west or the east of Stony Point. So if you live in Sladen, let me zoom out a little bit so you can hopefully get your bearings a little bit better. This is going to be Dixon County. This county, that box right there, this is going to be in the very far northwestern portion of Dixon County. This is that brand new tornado warning that just came out. I'll zoom in and get you some of these town names. So again, like we were just talking about, Sladen, Dunn Chapel, Cumberland Furnace, Van Leer, Marion, any of these areas, you need to be in your safe place right now, because that rotation just got very strong very quickly. That's like we were just saying, we'll give you as much leeway as we can, but sometimes these just develop rapidly. No confirmation on this just yet, but a pretty good radar signature happening very quickly. Probably hasn't had enough time to show any debris. No debris with that. That is not matching up with the velocity signature. So overall, right now, I think we're okay. But again, that happened very quickly. So that we'll definitely be keeping our eye out on that. You got some information?
No new information. I just know that you're flipping back and forth through things, so just kind of adding a little more context. Yeah, you're right. It has not updated because we don't get a new radar signature for every like 5 to 7 minutes, basically, throughout a time cycle. It has to go all the way around, pick up all the information, and you'll see it go from where it's at right now to a completely jumped issue of the radar, and that may be what we see that matches up to what Brett's looking for right now when it comes to the differences in the rotation, in the debris signatures, in the wind velocities, and all of those things that we watch very carefully for you. The tornado watch has been expanded a little bit.
Has.
Yes, it has. That just happened.
Yeah, it had just happened. Earlier we were looking at that tornado watch going until 7 p.m. That was mainly for kind of our western two-thirds area, we'll call it. But now, I guess the Storm Prediction Center decided, which rightfully so, go ahead and expand that tornado watch. That is going to fill in the entire rest of our viewing area. I will say a little bit of good news. Our very far southwestern portions, Trigg County, Christian County, and southwest Kentucky have now been clipped away from that tornado watch. So you're no longer under the tornado watch up there. Everybody else, though, if you're watching us, you are still under that tornado watch. But this is what we were just talking about, the new tornado watch in effect for all of our eastern counties now. Still set to run until 7 p.m. I'm going to click around for a little bit. 7 p.m. for most of our counties with that first tornado watch still. This new tornado watch, it's going to go all the way until 11 o'clock tonight. So this is going to be an all-day type of thing. It looks like more strong to severe thunderstorms continuing to spread to the east as we head through the rest of this afternoon on into this evening and now, into the night. That tornado watch now going until 11 o'clock tonight. So I don't have time to update this map right here, but that until 7 p.m. part, that was for the original tornado watch. The new tornado watch, that's going to go until 11 o'clock tonight. I want to flip it back over since that storm got so strong so fast, that rotation signature developed so quickly. Looks like it may have broadened out a little bit. Let me flip over here and just see what. Also, as I'm switching over, I'm still seeing more reports coming out of Montgomery County. A lot of damage reports, just trucks smashed, debris thrown everywhere in some of those neighborhoods right there around Clarksville. So again, hope and pray everybody was safe up there. In Montgomery County as that tornado warning moved through. Want to go back over here to the National Weather Service office in Nashville, see if any more information has come out. I don't see any more new information that has come out on any of that new tornado warning, but we are still seeing that tornado warning that's going to stick around until 3:45, so a little bit longer on that one. Here's that previous tornado warning. Our computer is still putting a decent radar signature on it, and we're still seeing this rotation. When I'm looking at this radar map, though, it's not near as tight as some of that rotation that we've seen on a couple of these tornado warnings earlier in the day. This is just very broad rotation where you see those reds and those greens, not necessarily super tight up against each other, still very broad, but you got to still treat that like it could be producing a tornado. This box is not purple. This is still radar indicated rotation, but that severe thunderstorm is still capable of dropping a tornado down at any moment. That tornado warning is set to go until 3:30. That's the one for Humphreys County. So still, if you're in let's get some of these town names popping up here. Hurricane Mills, Waverly, Gorman, Bethpage, any of those areas, you still need to remain in your safe place. I'll let you know when it's clear for you to go ahead and here in Montgomery. This is actually
And let's keep taking a look at what's going on here for you as we make our way into the rest of the next couple of half hours and even the next couple of hours. It's going to be a long day for all of us. We have not had severe weather in a very long time. And maybe you're just tuning in right now. Nashville, let's re-rack you and take a look at what's going on, what is happening, where we are going, and how we move forward. There are a lot of flashing lights, a lot of flashing things happening in colors you might not be used to. I'm going to do one thing. We're going to reset and then move back in. This is what you're used to seeing. Your typical radar, where we go, oh, green means light rain, then yellow, orange, red, purple means heavy rainfall. When you start seeing flashing boxes, then you know we've got issues. A tornado warning moving out of the Bowling Green area, which is good. However, we are not done with the main line moving closer and closer to Nashville. What is what? That's the big question. Whenever you're looking, you just go, just tell me what's going on. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in the yellow areas. That means that we're going to either have hail up to an inch, or we're going to have wind speeds of 75 miles per hour or more. This circle, that's not good. That's a tornado warning that we have for us here. When the red goes to a purple box, that is even worse. The red means tornado warning until 4 p.m. And we're going to keep watching this for you all throughout the next couple of hours. However, from the Waverly area, boy, you've been through enough. If you've lived there for a couple years, I feel for you right now. Please be in your safe spot. I do not want you to be caught off guard by this. I hope you're watching, and I'm sorry if you're not seeing your sports right now, but this is where we're going. Dixon, 26 minutes. Charlotte, 27 minutes. We're going to see this rain move in, and it's going to go from almost nothing to a complete downpour and the possibility of strong wind and potentially even a tornado in the area. So keep that in mind. We've already had a few confirmations of one. We've had pictures. We have seen damage reports. We told you about this way yesterday morning of just watch out for this afternoon toward this evening. But I'm going to send it back over to Brett. He can take back over and we can keep getting back into just working through a day. This is people that are just here for the first time in Tennessee for the first winter. Here we are. This is what we do, and it's not good.
We've been on the air so long, my mic battery died, so I had to go over there and change that. We are all good to go now.
That's why we're both here. We're good.
Got a fresh battery in here because we now have 3 tornado warnings up. It looks like that tornado warning, though, is still set to expire in about 3 minutes, but they have gone ahead and extended that with a new tornado warning. And that's the one kind of you were talking about, the Waverly area, Bethpage, McEwen, that tornado warning now going until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So we still have another 32 minutes left on that tornado warning right there. And this is going to be for parts of Humphreys County, moving on up into Dixon County as well. We're going to switch products over here. That is the reflectivity product. Obviously, heavy rainfall. I'll pop the lightning up here real quick, too. I mean, you shouldn't be outside anyways during this, but here's another reason you don't want to be outside. A lot of lightning still associated with these storms as they continue to push through. I'll put the velocity product up right here, and you can still see here's that good area of rotation. We've had a lot of these areas now over the past several hours, good areas of rotation. These rotating thunderstorms dropping tornadoes on the ground. This one right here is still radar indicated rotation. There's a difference between the purple polygon that we've been talking about and the red polygon. The purple polygon means that is a confirmed tornado. Somebody's actually seen that tornado versus the red polygon. These are radar indicated rotation, tornado warnings. So basically that severe thunderstorm it's capable of producing a tornado at any moment. There's definitely that rotating, and we're seeing that. Our radar computer wanting to put up that yellow cylinder right there spinning, indicating good rotation. We can see that right there with the reds and the greens. We're still on the Nashville radar site. That is well out here to the east. The greens on that, the wind's going to it. The reds on that, the wind's going away from it. And it's that area right there where you have that pretty good rotation signature. And that looks to be some pretty good rotation down there. I'm going to switch back up here because that's not the only tornado warning. Montgomery County, northern portions of Montgomery County got hit pretty hard, unfortunately, earlier today. Now the southern portions of Montgomery County dealing with a tornado warning right now, too. I'll put it on the correlation coefficient. A little bit of rotation. As far as any debris signature goes, it is not as prominent. We'll keep watching that for a few more radar scans. I don't think we're seeing near as good of a tornado debris signature there as we could be. So overall, that's fairly good news, at least we'll call it. Back over here, though, still to the south, moving through parts of Humphreys County, moving into Dixon County as well. Still have that tornado warning. That is the one where we do have some good rotation. I'm on the debris tracker right now. I'm not seeing any debris that this has picked up just yet. I'm having to switch back. Okay, so I'm not seeing any debris, at least with this tornado warning down here. So that is some good news. I wish I could have said that about the earlier tornado warnings today too. But this one, I do not see any debris that's being picked up right there on the radar. Good news still there. Heavy rain still too. Zooming out, still these severe thunderstorm warnings. Damaging straight line winds will still be it could be a big issue for us as we head through the rest of the day. But one thing that's different from last night to today, that tornado threat has actually gone up. And so about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago or so, the Storm Prediction Center actually bumped up our tornado threat a little bit to that next tier. So now looking at a 10% or greater chance for a tornado within 25 miles of wherever you're at. Also, some of those could be fairly strong too, EF2 or greater. And that's potentially what moved through northern Montgomery County, maybe an EF2 or an EF3 tornado, just looking off of radar alone. We'll wait for the damage reports to come out to see exactly how strong that tornado was, but some of the pictures that I've been seeing, some extreme amounts of damage up there in parts of Montgomery County. Most of us, though, are dry right now, so if you're thinking, why are we still on? Well, our viewing area is really big, and we still have these line of severe thunderstorms that are moving into the northwestern parts of the viewing area. That is going to keep on dropping to the southeast, so if you're not seeing the rain just yet, just give it a little bit longer, and you will be seeing some of these strong to severe thunderstorms. Greg, you able to see any new information over there?
Yeah, I definitely do from the Clarksville area. Not just pictures that we'll show you when we can, but also power down. And people are saying that they're not sure when it'll go back up in some of these areas that have been hit. We've got some very damaging photos that we'll get to you. And they've not received an observation from almost anything since 1:45, but very likely, I'm told, that a tornado was ongoing or could be ongoing in the Dixon County area just north of Cumberland Furnace.
Yep, so this is going to be right here in this area. This is the Cumberland Furnace area. This is Dixon County. This is in north central Dixon County for that tornado warning that is set to go until 3:32. This is very close to the Montgomery County line. So this is going to be in southern portions of Montgomery County, northern portions of Dixon County. We'll put it back over here to the velocity. This is right around Dunn Chapel. This radar will refresh for us in just a second. It'll pop back up. But right here, once this pops back up, you'll start to see some of that rotation right there around the Dunn Chapel area. That's where those reds and the greens are butted up against each other. This will keep on sliding to the northeast as we head through the next several minutes. Again, this tornado warning set to go until 3:45 this afternoon. There that radar computer goes with that better radar signature too. This is going to be that yellow spinning cylinder right there around the Dunn Chapel area. If you're living there, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is very close to the Montgomery County line. So if you live around the Montgomery County and Dixon County line, you need to be in your safe place. Coaling, Rock Springs, McAllister's Crossroads, Doddsville, Hinton Crossing, Beech Grove, Bethel, any of those spots, go ahead and get in your safe place. We'll drag out this little timer right here. We'll just put it at about 30 miles an hour or so. And no names are wanting to pop up for me, but let's try popping this up about 30 miles an hour or so. See if we can get you some of these. Well, it's not wanting to cooperate
Areas like
with me,
Rock Springs, you look up toward even Bethel, you get toward Beech Grove, Doddsville. These are areas they're going to have to watch out here. I would get to your safe spot now.
That's right.
And do two things. Turn your TV up. Listen to me and Brett. Turn it up as loud as you can. Get into that bathroom, that lower level. Get into that safe spot that has no windows in that room for you. Or get the Fox 17 coded weather app. We're going to make sure you know when you can get out of shelter and be in your safer spot.
Look at that right there. There's a tornado debris signature now popping up. This is just right around the Dunn Chapel area, and that matches up exactly where that area of rotation was. Here's the area of rotation. When we're looking at the correlation, the debris tracker and the velocity product, you want those to match up, and that does indeed match up right there. So it looks like now we have another tornado that is picking some stuff up and throwing it up in the air, and that radar beam is going out from the radar, hitting that debris, fence posts, shingles, anything like that, and coming back to the radar telling us that that is not a meteorological target. So it's not hitting raindrops or clouds, anything like that. That is hitting all non-meteorological targets. Whenever you start to see these brighter colors pop up, all this red and pink and purple, that's just some regular rain or just anything. And then it's these brighter colors, the teals and the blues, the greens, the yellows. That's when we're starting to talk about those tornadoes possibly throwing up some debris. And that's what we're looking at right there. Still a pretty good debris signature right there. That one just formed so quickly too. It sounds like, Greg, you have a little bit more new information for us over there as well.
Yeah, we've been watching the National Weather Service, and here we go. The latest update as of a minute ago. The warning is going to stay in effect here when it comes to north central Dixon and southeastern Montgomery and northwestern Cheatham counties. A confirmed tornado was located 16 miles south of Clarksville, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Now, this is definitely radar confirmed. We don't have anything, but like you just showed with the correlation fishing, which you've got right there, it's showing that debris will be flying at dangerous areas in dangerous ways. Mobile homes could be damaged. That's the latest from the Weather Service, Brett.
All right, Greg, appreciate that. And it looks like actually, before we do this, this is some video out of the Clarksville area. Sarah, is this the recorded video that we had? Okay, cool. So this is video of, it looks like that tornado possibly moving through, and it's kind of hard to see that. It's just a big wide lowering right there, though. Yeah, definitely rain wrapped on that Clarksville camera. This is from one of those traffic cameras, but that is what was moving through the Clarksville area, northern parts, or just north of Clarksville, around the Montgomery County area, and that tornado did cause quite a bit of damage, unfortunately. Again, don't have permission, I don't guess, to show them, but I've been seeing a lot of those pictures that have been posted in the National Weather Service chat from different emergency managers, and it confirms exactly what we're seeing right there on the camera. Some of those homes and neighborhoods, I mean, the roofs torn off, the homes, the walls, all the piles of wood, whatever, just away from it. Not a good situation up there, but that's what that video is from. That is a screen recorded of the video that was coming out of the Clarksville area, just north of Clarksville, with that tornado that was pushing in the northern portions of Montgomery County and just outside of that in the portions of southwest County. Sarah, thanks for that video. She's one of our executive producers here coming in to help. We got a full team coming in now.
I'll tell you right now, Brett, it is confirmed there is a tornado on the ground.
Confirmed tornado on there. This is for northern Dixon County, southern Montgomery County.
Yep.
All right,
that's exactly where it's at.
That's that debris that we were That's that debris signature that we were looking at right here on radar. So this cylinder telling us, hey, there's rotation here. These yellows and green pixels popping up right there. Northern Dixon County. This is just north of Cumberland Furnace. Greg Sean reports that a confirmed tornado now on the ground. This is going to keep on tracking up to the northeast. So now we're going to look up here into parts of Montgomery County. If you're around Southside area, Neptune, Bethel, Hickory Point, Beech Grove, anywhere of those town names, now you need to be going and getting to your safe place. Northern portions of Montgomery County already had to deal with this. Now it's southern portions of Montgomery County. If you're new to the area, I know a lot of new folks have moved in here over the past few years. If you're coming from an area where you're not as familiar with tornadoes as we are down here in the southeast, you just got to get to your safe place, and that's going to be the lowest floor of whatever building you're in, the most interior room. If you have an interior bathroom, an interior closet, that's going to be good. Some of the best places you can go to are a storm shelter or a basement, but I know not everybody has those. If you do, that's great. Those are going to be a very good bed for you, but you need to be in your safe place because this is a confirmed tornado that is on the ground around McAllister's Crossroads. Right around the Glenwild area, it looks like it's picking up some debris right there. You can see those greens popping up as well. There's a camera shot. This is going to be on I-40 and 840 in Dixon County. You can see some very low cloud bases. Just some lightning on there. I don't see any funnel right there, but that definitely doesn't mean that there is not one. That camera might just not be hitting exactly that same exact spot. But looking at the debris tracker, I mean, that's a decent debris signature right there. We'll flip it back over here to the radar velocity product too. And it's still the same area right here near Glenwild where we're seeing some of that better rotation going on. Just updated. Rotation isn't looking quite as good. We just got to let it get a minute because sometimes, and it looks like what we've seen today, some of these tornadoes, they've been on the ground, they've been lifting, and then a little bit later they try to come back down on the ground. So we're going to have to hang with this one. This is 3:39 the current time. This tornado warning is going to go until 3:45 currently. We'll see if the National Weather Service office here in Nashville decides to extend that. Correlation coefficient. This is still our debris tracker, and it is still showing a decent debris signature right here. It's a little cluttered. Zooming out just a little bit, get a little bit of a better view. This is going to be right here along the Dixon and Montgomery County line. So again, those town names that I was calling out: Rock Springs, Southside, Hinton Crossing, Doddsville, Neptune, Bethel. You need to be in your safe place right now. That lowest floor, your safe place whenever you have one of these tornado warnings issued for you. That's a confirmed tornado, it sounds like, that is on the ground according to the National Weather Service, but we still also have this tornado warning down here a little bit to the southeast of this. This is going to be for parts of Humphreys County. This tornado warning set to go until 4 o'clock. Still another 20 minutes left on this tornado warning right here. I'm going to change products, put it back on the velocity product. And okay, so this just updated too, and this is just crossing over now. This is just out past McEwen. This is moving into Ruskin, Hortense, Pond, these areas over in Dixon. I'll move my little stand out of the way. Dixon also, it looks like it might be passing just to the north of Dixon, not included in that tornado warning just yet. Hopefully this tornado warning does not get expanded, but just be prepared if you're around the Dixon area, the Pond area, because this rotation, it looks like, is holding together right here. This is just passing out of McEwen right now, around there, and moving into parts of, just about to move into parts of Dixon County within just the next couple of minutes. It's almost right over there into Dixon County. Did they just extend that warning?
The warning I've not seen an extension of, but I've seen more photos that have come in of areas that are seeing some damage. So anyone in back who's listening, just know that there is bad tornado damage in Montgomery County, Tiny Town Road at Trenton Road. And this was sent in, and it does not by any means look like a good situation for anyone living there. So that's one more place that we're watching. I've seen multiple photos here in the last just 2-3 minutes that have come into the National Weather Service. So that's one more place that we know we have had extensive damage. We continue to watch these counties right now. And here's that Trenton Road that you were just talking about. That's up there in the northern portions of Montgomery County, the same road that a tornado just cross right over. The tornado warning that we were on that was supposed to expire in the next few minutes, that has now been expanded. National Weather Service office in Nashville decided to go ahead and reissue that tornado warning on that storm. I'm going to try to get this up right here. Here we go. Looks like Cheatham County, Dixon County, Montgomery County, Robertson County. A new tornado warning was just issued. This is going to be at 3:38 p.m. This is still radar indicated. Let's see. Hold on.
At 3:38 p.m., a tornado-producing storm was located 15 miles northwest of White Bluff, or 16 miles west of Ashland City, moving east at 35 miles an hour. So we're going to zoom in on some of these areas. Ashland City, you're going to need to be in your safe place really soon. This storm moving at 35 miles an hour, about 15 miles to the west of Ashland City. Here's Ashland City right here. So actually, it looks like Ashland City is just outside of that tornado warning. That's over in Cheatham County. So if you're in Beech Grove, Bethel, Henrietta, Hickory Point, we've been talking about these for a while now. Pleasant View, Coopertown, Turnersville, you all need to be in your safe place. I'll try to get a storm track. This has not been wanting to cooperate with me.
And if not, I know that about Coopertown about right now is about 405.
So right now it's...
So that gives us an idea of the trajectory of how quickly we're moving here, according to the Weather Service. Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. Pleasant View, which is just a little bit south of Coopertown, about 21, 22 minutes. Coopertown just outside of that. So overall, this storm moving fairly quickly. I'm going to clear this map off, and we're going to put the velocity product back on it, and you can still see that area of rotation. We got a lot of flashing polygons going on right here. 3 tornado warnings, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's this area right here that we're still talking about. This is right up here around the Rock Springs area, just to the southwest of Doddsville. This area of rotation right here. It's not looking quite as good, and our radar computer even dropped that little cylinder, but you can definitely still see some rotation right there. Earlier, this thing did have a debris ball with it, and it looks like we're still seeing that debris signature popping up right there too. So that is not good news. These colors, you can definitely see these stand out in the sea of pink and purple that we have everywhere around it. We do have a couple of spots where we could be seeing a little bit of a debris signature right there, indicating that tornado is still picking up some debris and throwing it up in the air, and that radar beam is going out and hitting it, and it's not hitting the raindrops or any of those meteorological targets. So we still have that tornado warning right there, but I want to switch back over here, and we'll make this a little bit neater. This is over here into the very far eastern portion of Humphreys County. This is pushing over into Dixon County right now. Ruskin area, if you live right there. Hortense, Adams Crossroads, Sylvia, Taylor Crossroads, any of those spots, you need to be in your safe place. If this holds together, it will be pushing into your area. Right now, this tornado warning polygon is still fairly small, set to run until about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So hopefully that does not get extended, but if it stays current with the trends that we've seen happening throughout the day, a lot of these tornado warnings are having to get extended a couple of times because they just keep holding together, unfortunately. They may lift for a little bit, but then they go right back on the ground. And we've had at least a few now confirmed tornadoes, some of those doing pretty significant damage up there in Montgomery County. I will switch it back. If you're just now joining us, we have been on air for a long time now. We have had several tornado warnings issued. We do have this tornado warning, or this tornado threat that is going to stick around with us. And Greg, you can see it right here on this map behind us. We got a lot of yellow popping up. This is that new tornado watch for all the eastern counties.
And this is why you're at Code Red Station. So you cook what you need next, and I'll just give a couple little helpful hints here.
I'm going to get me a drink of water real quick.
You go get a drink of water, and I've got it. No, this has been a day. We have not had severe weather in so long, this time of the day, during a weekend in quite some time. We're leading into holidays. People are coming in, they're going out, and it's only going to get a little bit worse for a few of us before it gets better. So keep that in mind. Uh-oh. Okay, it just went purple. So now we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground, which we expected to eventually see. We're going to click this over for you, and here we are. You move your way down, and you can see all the reds. Did we just go purple?
Oh, wait, maybe I'm seeing a different screen.
You might be seeing a different screen, but that's fine. Get a drink of water. You've been going nonstop for 4 hours, but we're your Code Red Station because we're here 24/7 for you. All the boxes, what do they mean? I mean, we have not had a drink of water come from the sky most of the time for the last 6 weeks, and now here we go, moving into tonight. Every red flashing box is a tornado warning. That does not mean that everyone is going to get a tornado, but everyone in those areas as we zoom in has the potential to see one. However, I'm equally concerned about the areas, if we go down to the left side of your screen, that are in yellow. Now, you might not have a tornado threat, but what that means is you could have wind upwards of 75 miles per hour. I'm telling you, everyone that is east, and Dixon, you are up next. Everyone east of this area going toward Nashville, do you have holiday decorations outside? Is your garbage out for tomorrow morning? Do you have things going on? You may not get the worst of the threat, but you're going to get the wind that moves in, and it could heavily just impact your day-to-day life. If you have plans this evening, I will tell you, get there early, try to park somewhere that is covered, and make sure that everyone else that's meeting you is going to be safe, because we are not in a good situation. We knew it was going to be code red yesterday, and we've been working you through it. Here's also one other thing I want to show you. When it comes to hail. Now, we're not seeing a ton right now, but the hail path, look at that. We have had some significant hail move through with some of these storms that have been on the stronger side moving into Dixon County. You can see the bottom right-hand side of your screen right there. It's not looking good. Now, most of this is moving north of Dixon itself, but in Dixon County, we've got the heavy rain. We've got a ton of lightning. I'm going to turn off everything else but just the lightning and show you. Yeah, there we are. Here we are. We go Dixon up through Charlotte, the areas we're watching out for any potential tornado activity. We know we have had one on the ground. We'll take a look at where it's at right now. I'm going to tag Brett back in, take a look at the weather service, and we're going to kind of keep rotating for you here. We're going to be here until we know that we are good.
And, you know, I'm not sure why that's not popping up purple, because I'm seeing where it's saying a confirmed tornado on one of our computers is purple, on one of them it's not. So we're just going to have to go ahead and treat this one like it is a confirmed tornado that is popping up right there on the a confirmed tornado that is popping up right there. We're going to switch it back over here, and I'm going to turn back on the reflectivity mode and all that, and just show you what we have going on. This is that tornado warning. This is going to be for parts of Cheatham County, Pleasant View included in this, Ashland City. Okay, this is a, let's see, 415. So we got a couple of tornado warnings now right out here. These are going to be for parts of Dixon County, a good chunk of Dixon County included in this tornado warning. The heaviest of the activity right now is about split from the central and western half of Dixon County. This is going to be north and to the west of Charlotte, also to the northwest of Dixon, but it is headed that direction. All these storms are going to keep on moving to the east. Tornado warning remains in effect till 4:15 this afternoon. So we still have another 30 minutes or so left on that tornado warning. And then that tornado warning just to the north of that, we have two right there, one on the north, one on the south side. That one's going to remain in effect until 4:15 as well. So I'm going to call out some town names. If you live in any of these town names, you really need to be in your safe place right now. We have already seen significant damage out of Montgomery County, and these storms are going to be capable of producing more tornadoes as we head through the rest of the day, with some significant damage still possible. The Storm Prediction Center even upgraded our tornado threat a couple of hours ago for this afternoon and into the evening hours. Also, that tornado watch was expanded to cover the entire viewing area nearly now with that most recent update that came out. So here's this tornado warning. This is going to be for parts of Cheatham County. This is also going to be in effect for parts of northern Dixon County. We are still seeing, let's see, Glenwild, Coling, McAllister's Crossroads, Beech Grove, Bethel, Henrietta, Pleasant View. It's going to get to you a little bit later. You're actually not seeing any rain right now, but it's dry right there right now. That's not going to stay like that for a whole lot longer. You need to be in your safe place. Sycamore, you still got a little bit of time. Pleasant View, a little bit of time, but be getting there pretty soon. Beech Grove, you need to be there now. Bethel, Henrietta, Coling, Glenwild, any of those areas, that's where the tornado is about to pass over. So if, again, like we've been talking about, if you're new to the area, you want to get to the lowest floor of whatever building you're on, the most interior room. If you have an interior bathroom or an interior closet, that's going to be a good bet for you too. If you have any storm shelter or a basement or a storm shelter, that's really good, but I know not every home has those. We're going to keep on with this tornado warning right here. Both of these, again, set to run until 4:15, and it looks like these are the two main storms that we have going on right now. We have that one severe thunderstorm warning, still those two tornado warnings that are in effect for parts of Dixon, Cheatham, Montgomery County. This is going to be moving up even a little bit further into Robertson County now too. Areas east of Interstate 65, it is pretty much all clear. Just a few showers here and there, but not a whole lot. Most areas south of Interstate 40, it's looking pretty dry as well. But as these storms start to cross over I-40 and move closer to Interstate 65, this whole area, the southwestern portion of the viewing area, that southwestern quadrant, is still going to be a very good zone for more tornado development. I think those ingredients are actually going to be highest there than even some better ingredients even down there than what we've been seeing these tornadoes working with as they moved up into our northwestern spot. So this is still basically an untapped area. These storms are going to keep on sliding into that area. Hopefully they'll stay below severe limits, but we will be able to cut in, you know, if any of these storms do start to produce any sort of tornadoes or anything like that.
Very true. And you mentioned ingredients. Now, while you're looking at the next thing you want to show, ingredients are very true. Think about you want to bake a cake.
That's right.
You want to bake it tomorrow, or do you want to bake it in 6 weeks? And how many more ingredients do you get if you want to keep making that situation happen? That's where we're at right now. We have so many things to work with that the atmosphere has not used in so long that we're stuck in a place where this could be a really long night for us.
I know. I'm hoping it won't be, but we're here if it is.
If it is, then that's the whole reason that we're actually standing here.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, and also with that, if you're in Nashville, do not think you're in the clear.
It just, you got to wait a little bit longer.
You got to wait about an hour, hour and a half,
right.
and that could be a situation for us in the metro as well.
And that's right. And then let's see. Yeah, so because this tornado warning, it's going to include a good chunk of Cheatham County. This is going to be pushing right up to the Davidson County line. So if this thing holds together, you know, it could get easily pushed over into parts of Davidson County too. So we'll just have to keep on watching that and see what the National Weather Service does, and mainly see what these storms decide to do. If they decide to keep on putting these tornadoes down or not, because we've already had a couple of confirmed tornadoes across portions of the viewing area, southern Kentucky, middle Tennessee. We've been dealing with that especially. I keep talking about it, but that was a strong tornado that moved through Montgomery County, and that is what today is going to bring us, the chance for some more strong tornadoes potentially. The Storm Prediction Center upped our tornado threat earlier this afternoon, a couple hours ago, increasing that tornado threat for us. Want to show you back over here though. Let's put it on the velocity mode, see if we can kind of pinpoint some of these areas of rotation. This northernmost storm, I'm going to take off the lightning. This northernmost storm, I'm not seeing as much rotation popping up right there. So hopefully that is at least some good news. However, with this southernmost storm that is tornado warned, both of these tornado warnings going until 4:15. With this southernmost storm, there is still some pretty good rotation with that, and our radar computer is still putting on that spinning cylinder, indicating to us that, hey, it's pretty good rotation going on with this one right here. And whenever we're looking at radar, this is one of the things, one of the tools that we can use on the radar. We're over here on the Nashville radar site, so well to the northwest of here. It's these green pixels are the winds going towards that, and then these red pixels, all those are the winds that are going away from that, and that's what's creating that rotation right there. So this is going to be the main area of rotation that we're watching. This is going to be right there in parts of Dixon County, just south of Charlotte, basically right in between the Dixon and Charlotte area. Might even see another little secondary area of rotation right there around Dixon too. So this general area, Dixon up to about Charlotte, still those thunderstorms trying to rotate and trying to drop a tornado on the ground. We still have this tornado warning up here. That's going to go until 4:15. That is for the northern portions of Dixon County. That is also going to clip the southeastern portions of Montgomery County on up into Robertson County as well. Again, crossing over Interstate 24, we'll say in about 15-20 minutes from now. As that storm continues to track up to the northeast. Parts of Interstate 24 already dealing with some extremely heavy rain, those purples popping up. So if you're headed up towards around the Clarksville area, up I-24, you're having to deal with some heavy rain, also a good bit of lightning associated with some of these storms as well. Still those two tornado warnings right there. That tornado that moved through Montgomery County up into southern Kentucky, that is still tornado warned, but now it's severe thunderstorm. That is outside of our viewing area, but it held on the ground all the way from about parts of north central Montgomery County, tracked all the way up through southern Kentucky, and there it is right there. There's the remnants of that. So that thing has the potential to have been on the ground for quite a while, moving through parts of middle Tennessee on up there into southern Kentucky too. As far as these areas that are south of Interstate 40 goes, not seeing anything just yet. It is all dry nearly down there, but just wait for it a little bit longer. Those line of storms are going to start to move in. They're going to have the ingredients that we were just talking about, and as they do, we could get some more of those severe thunderstorms that are popping up. Also, some more tornado warnings that are unfortunately maybe going to have to be issued as some of these storms continue to move down to the southeast as this line pushes a little bit further across middle Tennessee. This tornado warning right here getting smaller and smaller, so that is some good news. A lot of areas have been able to have been clipped out on the backside of that. This is now mainly for, we're looking at parts of Cheatham County, also into parts of Robertson County. This is going to be for the very far southeastern portions of Robertson County that are still included within that tornado warning. And then just south of that tornado warning, we have another tornado warning with this area of rotation around the Dixon and Charlotte area. This is going to be down here in Dixon County. So if you're in Dixon, Mount Lebanon, Charlotte, Clay Clay Lick, Dole, Acorn Hill, Baker's Works, even into Kingston Springs. It might track just a little bit north of you, but Kingston Springs, you are still included in that polygon. A good idea for you to go ahead and be in your safe place as well. Anywhere, any of these areas in the eastern portions of Dickson County on over through a good chunk of Cheatham County as well until 4:15. That's the current run time on that tornado warning that we have right there. I will see if we have any of these, any new updates.
I got one for you.
Well, what you got?
Right now, the one that we're looking at right now when it comes to one of our warnings. Now, it's going to clip, like you mentioned, too. This just came in for Cheatham County and Robertson County has been updated to drop the confirmed warning as the tornado has lifted at present. Now, you know what that means just as I do, Brett. That means that we may have another one that develops from the same storm system, so we'll keep watching it.
That's exactly right. And some of these tornadoes, too, they've been on the ground, they've been lifting up, and then they've been dropping back down on the ground. So right now, it's lifted, so that's good, but you still got to be on guard because it could come right back down. So you just got to be prepared for it, be ready to get to your safe place if it does. So that tornado warning, this is that information that Greg was just telling you about. That's going to be this one up here, up in the Cheatham County area. We still have that the tornado warning that is just south of that tornado warning. That one is still going to go until 4:15. That area of rotation is still right there around the Charlotte and Dixon area. We'll change products. Still seeing some of those reds and greens butting up against each other right here. This is just a little bit to the northeast of Dixon in Dixon County. As far as any sort of debris signature goes,
in Dixon County, the area near White Bluff looks to be a place that we're looking for, and they're looking at as well.
Okay, so we're talking about the White Bluff area, Dixon County.
Dixon County, yeah. And kind of where you got the circle right there is one of those areas that we're watching still for any potential development. Yeah. Yeah.
So still just some fairly decent rotation right there, and that's just what we're going to be keeping our eye on. Some of these storms have been holding together for quite a while. I was just telling you about that one that was up there in northern portions of Montgomery County. That same tornado that moved through parts of southern Kentucky. That one held together for quite a while, and like we've been talking to, they may go down, then back up, and then drop back down again. So that's kind of the threat that we're having to deal with for today. I will show you too, if you are just now joining us, we have been on for a long time now, but if you are just now joining us, this is still not the start of it, but we're not even halfway through just yet. This is going to be a long day with at least a chance for some of these strong to severe thunderstorms, because this whole line still has to cross all of Middle Tennessee before we actually lose that threat for some more of those strong to severe thunderstorms, and that's going to take quite a while. It's probably not going to exit our far eastern areas until we hit about 11 o'clock tonight. In our far eastern counties, an update came out not too long ago. Storm Prediction Center decided to go ahead and include all of our eastern counties within that tornado watch threat as well. So I'll bring that map up for you too. I've been showing this map earlier today. This is that tornado watch map. Until 7 o'clock, I haven't even had time to update this map yet. Henry County also has been removed from that tornado watch. That's good news if you're up there in Henry County. Tornado watch until 7 p.m. This is going to be for most of our counties along and west of Interstate 65. That was the original tornado watch that came out earlier this morning. This recently, over the past hour or so, that new tornado watch was just issued. That's going to be for areas a little bit further to the east that weren't covered by that previous tornado watch. That tornado watch, you can see it right here on your screen. So this is going to be for our eastern areas. Areas like Cookville, into Crossville, McMinnville, Tullahoma, some of those areas. That tornado watch is going to go until 11 o'clock this afternoon or this evening. So again, this is going to be a long thing. If you live over here in our eastern counties, try not to go to bed super early, or at least try to stay up with us for a little bit, just in case we do have any more tornadoes that try to develop over in that part of the viewing area. I'm still just showing you the timing on some of this. We'll get this map, put it into motion right here, and try to play this for you. So until 6 p.m. still, until about 6 p.m. still, we'll be talking about the chance for some of those strong to severe thunderstorms in our western counties. That'll slide out of the viewing area, pushing into the Nashville area pretty soon. We just like a little bit longer. That tornado warning does butt up right against the far western edge of Davidson County right now. So in about 30 minutes, we'll say, on the way through about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight, we could be dealing with some storms lined up right here along Interstate 65. Everybody highlighted in the shade of orange. You're going to have the possibility for some tornadoes, maybe a strong one or two that try to develop. So just go ahead and be on guard and stay alert right here. Here is a really cool shot. You can see how much that cloud has lowered as that leading edge of that storms comes in. Sarah, is this, what does that say, I-40? I-40 at 840. So that's that camera that we're looking at. This is one of our one of the traffic cameras that we're seeing. So really cool shot right there. The clouds are definitely lowering, and it is dark out there. These storms are bringing in some very heavy rainfall. There has been some lightning too with some of these storms, even some hail too that we've seen reports of. Some of those storms that have been moving through parts of southwest Tennessee. So that's what we're dealing with, just kind of ominous looking out there right now. And again, that's been the name of the game for today, just strong to severe thunderstorms, and it'll continue to stay like that as we head through the rest of this afternoon on into the evening hours. I'll bring up the radar again. I want to go back and cover that tornado warning.
And that picture you've got while you're getting back into it, that is just to the north and west of where the warning is at. So if you're looking to the north and the west from I-40 at 840, that's what you're seeing right now. And it's not looking really good. It is one of those really dark situations. That is the incoming storm system.
That's right. And so it's this area right here. It's basically just that leading edge of the storms. I can't point to the cloud, but you can kind of see where that cloud begins. That's the leading edge of these storms right here, I-40, just to the northwest of that. So that's where we're looking. And we still have this area of rotation, too, right there around the Charlotte area. That's going to be just to the northwest of Dixon. And then, you know what? I'm going to switch it back over to the velocity product, and we're just going to see if we have, so it's still showing up some pretty good, well, it just disappeared. It'll come back for us in about 10 seconds from now. That data will come back on. But it's this area right here where you see this spinning cylinder between Charlotte and Acorn Hill. That's where we're seeing that best area of rotation. This now is moving up into the Clay Lick area too, it looks like, for that tightest area of rotation. I am going to change it back over here to the debris tracker. I've been having to show this map a lot today, unfortunately, because some of those tornadoes have been popping up, bringing up a lot of debris, throwing that up in the air. It's a little bit of a cluttered shot right here. I don't know if that is any debris there. I don't think so right now. I don't think so. But we are going to be keeping our eye out on that. I'm going to see if the National Weather Service has talked any more about this tornado warning. So they are continuing the tornado warning for that part of Cheatham and Dixon County. The latest report on that is still the radar indicated rotation. That is that severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado that was located over White Bluff, 9 miles northeast of Dixon, and that is moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. Flying debris will remain dangerous if that tornado is on the ground. So that's what we're looking at right there. Sarah, can you tell me that? Whoa, that's a dark picture. Can you tell me? Okay, so this is the heart of Dixon that we're looking at right here on this camera, and you can see just how dark it is right there. I'll show you what Dixon is looking like on the radar. So that, I assume, is looking probably to the north, and you got a lot of heavy rainfall that's right up there in that area. It's also that same area that we're seeing the rotation too. It looks like the actual tornado threat is in the east central portions of Dixon County right now. But we also have some heavy rain that's moving back onto the west end, the backside of Dixon County right now. So some pretty low clouds, very dark skies over there in Dixon County, and that is right there with that leading edge of storms that we have. And it's this storm line that we have to worry about really for the rest of the day. And you can see this line has really started to fill in too. It's on that diagonal line all the way from parts of North Mississippi all the way up through Middle Tennessee, pushing on up into southern Kentucky too. It's not just us right here that are having to deal with some of these strong to severe thunderstorms, but we have had our bulk of severe weather for today already. Several tornado warnings that have been issued for us as well. And also, I would just want to point out too that still these areas that are in the southeastern quadrant of our viewing area, the southeastern portion right around that area right there, still has not seen really much rainfall at all today, and those storms are just going to keep on moving into that area, and those ingredients will be in place for more of these tornadoes to get going as we head through the next several hours. And it looks like over in parts of North Mississippi there was a tornado warning that was just issued. This is around Corinth, Mississippi, outside of our viewing area, but if that holds together just for a little bit even, that's going to be pushing over into the Wayne County area. So hopefully that does not hold together, but we'll definitely be keeping our eye out on this storm that is down here in the far northeastern part of Mississippi, around the Corinth, Mississippi area. So here we go, back to these tornado warnings that we have. This is still the issue at hand right here. You still need to be in your safe place anywhere, and I'm going to try to zoom in, but not so much that we lose a lot of things. is, let's see, this is Cheatham County. This is going to be right around Clay Lick, where we're seeing the best area of rotation, going up into Ashland City as well. Ashland City, you need to be in your safe place. Kingston Springs, it still looks like it's going to go just to the north of you. However, just go ahead and maybe stay there or be ready to get there just in case it decides to dip just a little bit. But overall, I think that threat is going to remain north of you. The area of best rotation right there still around that Clay Lick area, and we're still seeing a little bit of that right there popping up on the radar. Some pretty good rotation, actually, it looks like right there around a Clay Lick. So if you're in Clay Lick, you need to be in your safe place right now. That's going to be headed up towards Griffintown, Petway, Germantown, Sulphur Springs, Lilla May, Gravelot, Marrowbone, all those areas. If I called out your town name, you need to be in your safe place again. That's going to be the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. Greg, I think you got some new updates for us.
That I do. Now, it has not happened yet, but expect it to be on your map soon, Brett. Robertson County and Southern Dixon County, a new tornado warning is likely to be possible, and we're being told, as we're seeing, to watch out for Davidson County and the Nashville area to potentially have warnings in the coming hour or two.
Okay, and this is so jumbled up. It looks like something just got extended, though.
That might be it.
So is this it looks like they pushed this one up a little bit further into Robertson County. This is going to go until 4:30. So that's a continuation of that previous warning that was up there in the northern portion of Cheatham County. And we've still got several tornado warnings lined up right here, going from northern areas around Robertson County on down through southern portions of Dixon County, even on into the northwestern portion, the far northwestern corner of Williamson County. Still seeing some good rotation right here on this storm. This is the one right here around Clay Lick. This is in Dixon County. This is about to be pushing over into Cheatham County, though, as we head on to the next few minutes or so. And still the Nashville area, these storms not here just yet, but they are very close to making their way right here into our area. So if you're in Nashville, you don't have anything to worry about at this exact moment, but just give it about another 30 minutes or so, and you're really going to start to need to be kind of making plans if there are any tornado warnings that get issued for your viewing area, just to go ahead and be ready to get down to your safe place if you are in the Nashville area, because some of these storms, you know, they are holding together pretty strong and they are keeping with it. So if these keep holding together, and I think I have every reason to believe that they will, the ingredients are definitely in place, that we could be seeing some of our tornado warnings, just like Greg was reading that from the National Weather Service, that Davidson County, we need to be ready just in case these storms continue to push in. I think there's a chance they're a pretty good chance they will, but still that area of rotation right there. I'm going to try to break down some of these warnings because we have quite a bit going on. I'm going to put it back on the reflectivity mode. This yellow polygon, that is the severe thunderstorm warning. That is just for those strong winds. So on top of the tornadoes that we're having to deal with, we're also having to deal with some strong wind gusts that are associated with some of these thunderstorms too. These are for winds gusting around 60 miles an hour or so. We've seen a little bit of hail. The hail reports haven't been a whole lot, though. This has mainly been more of a wind and a tornado thing with some very heavy rainfall so far. And this started late this morning and it has continued. We have been on air for a long time now. More tornado warnings just keep on coming in. I keep getting emails, pictures getting posted in the National Weather Chat of different damage caused by some of these tornadoes. So we have this top tornado warning. This is the northernmost tornado warning. It is 4:09 right now. We're just going to try to break these down because there is a lot happening right here on the radar map. So 4:09 the current time, 4:30 p.m. That's going to be the run time on that tornado warning right up here in the parts of Robertson County. So we still have another 21 minutes to go before that tornado warning can expire. This one behind this on the backside, that new tornado warning that I was just talking about in Robertson County, this one right here, this polygon right here, that's just a continuation because this storm has held together. This little backside of that tornado polygon is going to get clipped off in just a second, or just a little bit, several more minutes. So if you're on the backside of that, you will be able to get out of your safe place, but you just got to give it a little bit longer because we still have to deal with that. But that backside is going to, I guess we got something going on here. So phone. So we got a tornado warning in Davidson County. I'm sure you can hear all the beeping going on in the studio right now. But we will be watching that as soon as, and there it goes right there. So that tornado warning is going to be in effect until 4:45 this afternoon. So this tornado warning is going to include Nashville, include the northern portions of Davidson County too, Jolton included in that. So this is going to be for, again, the northern 2/3 or so, northern half of Davidson County. It's not here just yet, but it's going to be here pretty soon. These storms are moving in about 35, 40 miles an hour. So right now they're still in parts of Cheatham County, exiting Dixon County, moving on up into Robertson County. But
and Brett, what I'm reading right now,
what you got?
These are words you have to just say real quick when you see them, because I'm reading a little bit below you. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near White Bluff, 8 miles southwest of Ashland City, moving at 40 miles per hour.
Tell me that, how far away from Ashland City again did you have on there?
8 miles to the southwest of Ashland City, a large and dangerous tornado has been confirmed.
Okay, so it looks like it's this tornado right here that we've been talking about with that area of rotation.
So now it seems like it's strengthening.
Oh wow, look at that right there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely getting a good rotation signature popping up right here on the radar. This is going to be right here south of Germantown, right around the Griffintown area too. So a very good radar signature popping up right there. And now our radar computer just updated, bringing in that little cylinder right on the exact path of that better area of rotation. That is a confirmed tornado that we're talking about. That is, we've had a few confirmed tornadoes now today, and this is just another one that's getting added to the list. I'm going to try to zoom in without stuff getting too cluttered so we can get some of these town names, because you need to definitely be in your safe place if you are in the path of this tornado warning.
You keep zooming in, and I'll keep talking while you do it, because it's a 1-2 person trying to make sure everybody's safe. Get to your safe place. Get to your safe spot. Turn your TV up. Don't wait till the weather gets to you. Get there 10 minutes early. Take the pets. Have them in the bathroom. Have them in the basement. Go under the stairwell. Do all the things that you can do to make yourself safe. If the kids have a bike helmet and you're in the path of this, grab that. Find the best place you can go and have a plan before all this gets to you, because this is not going to be a situation that ends very quickly as we go throughout this afternoon.
No, Greg, unfortunately, this is going to last with us for quite a while. That tornado watch, especially in our eastern counties, that's going to stick with us until about 11 o'clock tonight before that severe weather threat finally exits the viewing area. But these storms are closing in on the Nashville area. These are about to start to move into Davidson County. That's why you probably heard your phone go off. Mine and Greg's phone were just going off in here in the studio, because the National Weather Service went ahead and issued that new tornado warning. That is going to include the northern 2/3, northern half or so of Davidson County. This is a confirmed tornado now that we're talking about. Switching gears just a little bit, this is the one that could be moving into the northern portions of Davidson County if it holds together. Right now, this confirmed tornado that we're talking about is still back here to the west of Davidson County. This is in Cheatham County right now. So I'm going to read you off some town names. If you're in the path of this tornado, you just need to go ahead and be in your safe place. So Lillimay, Gravelight, and forgive me if I mispronounce some of these town names, Marrowbone, Scottsboro, Jordonia, any of these areas, Greenville, Ashland City, you still need to be in your safe place too, for sure. Wallow, any of those town names, be in your safe place right now, like we've been talking about all day. So a good radar signature popping up right here on this tornado, warning, unfortunately. But like we've been talking about all day now, if you're new to this area, new to this part of the country, tornadoes is just something that we have to deal with down here, really any time of the year, down here in the southeastern part of the country. And today is one of those days. So whenever we say to get to your safe place, you need to get to the lowest floor of whatever building you're in. If you have a basement or a storm shelter, that's going to be very good for you. You need to go ahead and find your safe place, get down there, put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible, and definitely stay away from any windows. You don't want to be around any windows at all with these tornadoes that are coming towards your area. And again, this is a confirmed tornado that I'm showing you. I'm zoomed in on right here. It looks like the best area of rotation right now. Let's see. Best area of rotation is right here around the Griffintown area, Germantown. This is still moving up to the northeast into Gravelight and Marrowbone. It'll be in your area not too much longer from now. Scottsboro, you still got a little bit of time, but all of these areas, I'll put it back on the reflectivity mode and zoom out a little bit so you can kind of get your bearing straight, because we're pretty zoomed in. But all of these areas within this polygon right here, there's where that confirmed tornado is. This is right in between Germantown and Griffintown. This is going to be to the west of Davidson County, but now the National Weather Service about 5-10 minutes ago or so issued that tornado warning that now does include the northern and kind of the northern 2/3 of Davidson County, the far southern portions of Davidson County not included within that tornado warning right there. But you still got time in Nashville, but you just need to go ahead and be making your plans fairly quickly if you Also, Kylie Walker, I just saw an email from her. She said the tornado warning's going off in downtown Nashville. Another thing about tornado warnings, real quick, while we're on it, those are not made for you to be able to hear those if you were inside. Those are more of an outside type of thing to give you time to get indoors. You can hear them sometimes if you are inside, but just don't solely rely on those tornado sirens to let you know, hey, there's a tornado warning for your area, because again, they aren't specifically made for you to be able to hear those while you're inside your home or whatever building you're in. Those are made if you're outside, so you can get indoors quickly when those tornado sirens go off. Here's still that tornado warning that we're talking about. Griffin, can you say that one more time? Yep. Thank you, Daniel. And one of our directors, Daniel, just confirming what Kylie was saying too. Tornado sirens still going off in downtown Nashville. This is the area of rotation that we're still looking at. Our computer putting a good radar signature on that right there, unfortunately. Griffintown, Germantown. This is not the Germantown right here in Nashville. This is going to be out a little bit. But here we go.
That's not pretty.
No, it's
not pretty.
That's some tight rotation right there. Whenever you see those reds and the greens coming up, I'll show you what radar site we're on. We're on the Nashville radar site. That's going to be right here. This is the radar that we're using. These greens are the winds. Those green pixels are the winds that are coming towards this radar, and then these shades of red, these red pixels, are the winds that are going away from the radar, and that's what's giving us that spin right there. That's where that area of rotation is. Very well defined right there on the radar. I am going to switch it over to the correlation coefficient. This tells us if we have any debris, and it looks like, unfortunately, there could be some debris right there too. Right there's the area of rotation, and then you see these right underneath the cylinder, those green and yellow and teal pixels popping up, indicating to us that that radar beam, once it's going out from the radar and it's flying through the air, it's hitting some non-meteorological targets in the air. That could be hitting fence posts or shingles, and then that radar beam is going back to the radar, so it's not hitting meteorological targets like rainfall or anything like that. So that could be debris that is getting lofted up in the air by that confirmed tornado that we now have over there in parts of Cheatham County. Looks like most of that is trying to push out of Dixon County, but
it's trying. And I'll tell you right now, if you live in North Nashville and you've been here since 2020, this is going to be triggering. Whether or not you have strong wind, or maybe this tornado holds through and moves through the North Nashville area, Germantown, North Nashville, East Nashville, please get to your safe spot. If you've been here for that long, you already know what I mean. If you have not, we can have these storms that pop up and they get very dangerous, very strong, very quickly, and they don't last that long. But it could be life-altering in many ways. So that's just what I would say from being here, working that night, going through that night, is just take this very seriously as we go in toward Davidson County in the Nashville area.
Totally agree with you, Greg. This threat's going to stick around with us for the next several hours, too. There is a lot going on right now that we're trying to go back and forth on all of our weather computers, but it does look like now, a couple of minutes ago, now another tornado now apparent on the radar between Coopertown and Springfield in Robertson County. No tornado debris signature on that just yet. This is what we look for on the tornado debris signature, but we're going to be watching that. This is going to be for this tornado warning that is up here just north of this tornado warning that is just south of Germantown, just south of Ashland City right there. I'm going to switch it back over to our to the reflectivity product, and we're going to go up actually the velocity product, and there we go. There's the one that I was just talking about. This could be another tornado that's on the ground right now too. That's a pretty tight rotation signature right here. This is just north of Chestnut Orchard. This is up 431 Springfield right here. So right here in between Springfield, Chestnut Orchard. If you're at Perry Park, Oakland, Cortland, you need to be in your safe place right now. This tornado warning, you're dead center of that right now, and that does look like a very good rotation signature. National Weather Service not talking about any tornado debris signature just yet, but now with this most recent scan, it looks like we might have the very beginning of that. So we'll let another couple of radar scans come out to get a better picture on that. Unfortunately, it looks like that could be another tornado that is on the ground for us right now. So strong rotation right there, and also still a strong area of rotation that is down here into parts of Cheatham County. Time is 4:19 right now. This tornado warning set to go until 4:45 this afternoon. Still got another 30 minutes left on this tornado warning, and it's that tornado warning that was issued 10-15 minutes ago or so that does now include a good chunk of Davidson County. Basically, if you're in the northern 2/3 of Davidson County, Nashville obviously included in that, you are in that tornado warning that is going to go until 4:45 this afternoon. So we will see. We're going to go back down here, get a little bit closer of a zoomed in look on exactly what's going on. and Gravelot, Marrowbone, Scottsboro. Still seeing that tight rotation right here. Some of these road names, I'm going to read out some of these roads too. If you're familiar with any of these roads, if you live in these areas, this will give you a kind of more of a pinpoint idea on where this exactly is. Bull Run Road, River Tree, River Road, Pike, any of these areas, Pecan Valley Road. This is going to be over here in the portions of western areas of Davidson County. This is just about, this area of rotation, this tornado is about to cross over the Cheatham County line and head off into parts of Davidson County. We still have a little bit longer on this, but this thing could hold together. That's been the trend that we've seen today. Some of these tornadoes have held together for quite a while, so we're still having to deal with that tornado. Again, that is about to push into parts of Davidson County. That's one of the tornadoes that we have out there right now, but also just north of that tornado, this is going to be up here in parts of Robertson County. They have best area of rotation right here around the Springfield and Cortland area. We're still seeing some rotation right there as well. So a couple of spots that we're watching, two possible tornadoes right here on the ground right now in parts of Middle Tennessee around the Robertson County area. That's going to keep on spreading to the northeast. If you live in Perry Park, Oakland, Cortland, even up into Springfield, Eden Corner, Baggettsville, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place right now. The lowest floor of whatever building you're in, put as many walls between you and the outside of your home or your building as possible. If you do have a basement or a storm shelter, those are going to be two of your better places that you can go. But obviously, I know not every home has those, but they are great options to help keep you safe during any of these tornadoes. Going back south again, this is the tornado that is set to move into parts of western Davidson County very soon now. So we have this area of rotation right here. This is around the Gravelot area and Marrowbone area. That's where the greatest rotation is right now. So this is the velocity products where we can really start to see those reds and greens butting up against each other on the radar, tell us where that rotation is. You can see our computer putting that cylinder on that area of rotation right there. I want to flip it over to the debris tracker. Unfortunately, I've had to show this map several times now, and you can still see right where we have that area of rotation, right directly underneath that spinning cylinder. That's where those shades of greens and yellow pixels are popping up right there, and that is indicating to us that tornado could still be lofting up some debris in the air, and when that radar beam goes out from the radar, it hits it and then comes back. So if you're just now tuning in, I know that our alerts went off in the studio on our phone, mine and Greg's phone, just a little bit ago, about 15 minutes ago, when the National Weather Service went ahead and issued that warning for northern Davidson County. If you're just now tuning in, this is an event that we have been tracking here since late this morning. For the past several hours we've been on the air, unfortunately, having to deal with some of these tornadoes, and it looks like we have two tornadoes up right now, and this is we'll say the early to middle part of it. We still have several more hours to go. This isn't going to be over until about 11 o'clock, exiting the viewing area for our far eastern counties. We'll put it back over here on reflectivity. And Greg, while I do this, have you seen any pictures, any updated information coming out of the chat?
No pictures, but definitely information. Robertson County has now been included in an extension of tornado warnings. Same with Sumner County. And they're considering what, this is going to sound strange for people at home just watching, trying to figure it out, a considerable tag for the tornado warning. What that means is we're very worried about this being a potentially damaging, dangerous situation.
And that was for the Robertson, or for the Robertson County one? Okay,
yes.
Well, so yeah, we have both of these tornado warnings. This is that Robertson County tornado warning that we were talking about. This is obviously going to be that northernmost tornado warning. Dropping a little bit further south of that, this is the tornado warning that includes parts of Cheatham County and also, unfortunately, parts of Davidson County right here. The northern 2/3 of us or so. Nashville is included. We're on the south side of it right here, but we are included in that tornado warning. We're going to get you some roads. So this is I-40 right here. This tornado warning is
not liking that notch near,
I know,
just south of Ashland City. Yeah.
You know, that notch is very similar to what we were seeing on that one in northern Montgomery County. Just those winds feeding into that, and obviously not a good situation up there. So hopefully this one will stay at bay a little bit, but good rotation signature on radar, like Greg was talking about. This notch right there moving into that area as well. We'll put up back the velocity, and we're still seeing that rotation area, maybe even a couple areas, but good area. Let me back my maps up just a little bit. So this area right here, this is River Road. This is right just south of Gravelot. This is actually not moving a whole lot, not as quick as some of those other ones, but it's still moving pretty good. Marrowbone just south of that. You still need to be in your safe place. Scottsboro, I'll tell you when you're all clear, but you may have to stay in there just for a little bit longer, because this may take a minute to swipe through. So I'm still getting emails more about the tornado sirens going off. And again, just another point about those tornado sirens real quick too. If you hear those, don't solely rely on those tornado sirens to know that there's a tornado warning for for your viewing area or not. Those are actually made just so that you hear those. If you're outside, it's going to give you time to get indoors. Here's a video right here. You can see it in the side of your screen. This is going to be south looking north. So we're going to be looking up towards, so it's the northern portions of Davidson County where I think the biggest threat for this is right now. And this is a camera here in Nashville. This is going to be from the south looking to the north. And that's where kind of that leading edge of the stronger activity is. We'll bring up this reflectivity mode. Very heavy rainfall associated with this. Also, we're talking about, we'll bring up the lightning too. You're seeing a little bit of lightning. That, I mean, obviously all lightning always a threat, but the main threat right now is still this tornado that we have that was confirmed as it was moving out of Cheatham County and now pushing on over into parts of Davidson County. We'll get you some of these town names too. Morney, Jolton, Dalemere, Ivy Point. Again, forgive me if I mispronounce some of these names. Bakers, Ridgetop, Madison. You got a little bit more time over here around the Madison area, but you still got to just be ready to get to your safe place because these storms are just going to keep on sliding to the east, and they will continue to bring that chance for some more of these strong to severe thunderstorms as we head, unfortunately, for the next several hours. So this is the